All right. Good evening, everyone. Full house, standing room only crowd tonight. This is really exciting to see, and I'm sure all of you will be here till the very, very end, right? Okay, I'd like to call this meeting of the Sterling Heights City Council to order. If you would, please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials. Grant them courage and wisdom to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Ms. Riska. Can we please have the roll call?
Mayor Taylor?
Here.
Mrs. Sarowski?
Here.
Mr. Myjack?
Here.
Mr. Radke?
Present.
Mrs. Schmidt?
Present.
Mr. Yanis?
Here.
Mrs. Yarko?
Present.
Thank you, Council. We need approval of the agenda.
Mayor Taylor,
Mrs. Zarko.
move to approve the agenda. Support.
It's been moved and supported. Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Radke.
Could we move consent agenda item F to,
We'll make F 8-1 or 8A, and then
Yeah.
we'll move communications to 9, and everything else will cascade down. Council, is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. First item on our agenda tonight is a report from our city manager, Mark Vanderpool. Mr. Vanderpool.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I wanted to spend a couple of minutes and talk about our best-in-class internship program because it's coming up, and a number of college kids are now looking for internships. You've heard a lot about the program. I'm glad we have such a large crowd because we want to spread the word throughout the community. So with us this evening is our HR Director, Kate Baldwin, who's going to lead the discussion.
Thank you, Mr. Vanderpool. Good evening, Mayor, members of City Council, Mr. Koszewski. The Office of Human Resources is excited to host our third college internship program. We've hosted interns for many, many years, and Human Resources developed a more robust program beginning in 2023, where we bring in a large group of interns across the organization and provide them with a tangible and meaningful experience. It's been an absolute pleasure and so much fun to have these young professionals coming into our organization who are eager to learn, gain experience, and build connections. With me this evening, and who will speak a little bit more on the program, is Sarah Scowden, our lead human resources coordinator, who has done an amazing job in spearheading and evolving the program each year.
Thank you, Kate. We are incredibly excited to be gearing up for our 2026 college internship program. Recruitment is now underway. This year, the city is seeking 12 interns to participate in this robust program, gaining experience across a variety of city offices and departments, representing a wide range of academic disciplines. Emphasis is placed on students enrolled in graduate degree programs and those nearing the end of their undergraduate studies, enabling them to further develop the skills and knowledge gained through their coursework as they prepare to enter the workforce and launch their professional careers. Beyond working hands-on in their respective disciplines, the program offers college students a well-rounded internship experience, contributing to strategic projects alongside experienced professionals, participating in networking events, professional development trainings, and numerous other opportunities to build connections in a collaborative, welcoming, and innovative environment. Interns have the opportunity to commit to long-term internships rather than a fixed-duration internship exclusive to the summer months. This extended time frame allows interns to contribute to and experience projects that occur beyond the summer months, while giving the interns an opportunity to see a project or initiative come to fruition. This year's college internship program is scheduled to begin mid-May. Students seeking a hands-on and engaging internship experience while making a meaningful impact on the community can apply through the city's website or contact our human resources team for additional information.
So a big thank you to Sarah and the team. They do a fantastic job with this program each year, but we also wanted to thank the mayor, city council, Mr. Koszewski, Mr. Vanderpool, and all of our wonderful leaders and staff. They participate and embrace our interns year after year. As of this morning, in fact, this is a very popular program. We've had 110 applications so far as of this morning. So it really truly is something wonderful. Our city council, mayor, our city leadership, they get involved, they embrace the interns, and it's a lot of fun. So this concludes our presentation. Thank you very much.
And Mayor, I just wanted to highlight too, that we kind of view this as a mini farm system, if you will, for the organization, because many of our interns do indeed get hired into full-time positions. And some of them have risen through the ranks. As you know, our Community Development Director, Jason Castor, started as an intern, albeit many, many years ago. He's not here. I don't see him, so I can say that. In addition, Abby Jenkins, who's in the front row, started as an intern, and now she is a full-time marketing specialist. So selfishly, the internship pays big dividends for the city too, not just the interns, but it really is a best-in-class program. We looked at the big corporations, Stellantis, Ford Motor Company, and others when this program was enhanced a number of years ago. And I think we're doing it even better than them, thanks to our HR team. But we're really excited about it, and thank you for the support. And the next presentation is centered on new technology. Everyone has heard about drone technology, been around for a long time, nothing new there. And we've been using drone technology in a big way, but in a limited fashion. So what you're going to hear about tonight is an exciting new program regarding drone technology. So I'm going to introduce our police chief, Andy Satterfield, and our deputy chief, Ken Pappas, who are going to lead this discussion.
I'll do this. No, if you want to go there.
I appreciate the introduction, but I'm actually not going to be doing this presentation. Deputy Chief Pappas is going to be doing the entire presentation as I'm here for.
Okay. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vanderpool, Council. I appreciate the opportunity to introduce Sterling Heights Drone as a first responder program, commonly referred to as DFR. Tonight I'll explain how the DFR works, how DFR enhances public safety and response efficiency, and address any operational oversight, privacy protections, and accountability. What DFR is and what it is not. Drones themselves are not new to our department. We have utilized them for 8 years, assisting with hotspots and fires, searches, accidents, and a host of other emergencies. What DFR does differently is that we get the tool out there quicker. This is a rapid response public safety tool supporting police, fire, and public works. It will be deployed only to specific defined calls for services, natural disasters, and public safety hazards. It provides real-time aerial situation awareness before responders even arrive. It enhances the decision-making, responder safety, and resource efficiency. It will support the police in incident assessment and response, the fire department's sizing up, hazard identification, and fire ground evaluation, the Department of Public Works assessment on water main breaks, flooding, and infrastructure failures. It allows responders to better understand conditions before committing personnel and equipment. The demonstrated effectiveness in comparable agencies, Lakewood Police Department conducted 590 DFR flights in 11 weeks. It was deployed to 47% of their calls. 38% of the calls were resolved without patrol arriving, reducing unnecessary responses and freeing resources for higher priority incidents. What it is not. It's not random or continuous surveillance. It's not used for general monitoring of the public. It's not equipped with facial recognition or any biometrics technology. The key takeaway from this is DFR is a targeted, transparent public safety tool that enhances situational awareness, improves responder safety, and allows a city to deploy the right resources at the right time without expanding surveillance or compromising civil liberties. How it works, you may ask. A priority call for service is received. Trained personnel deploy a drone from a fixed location. Live video is provided to responders and supervisors. And here's a video of our very own made by SHTV. As you will see, this is the docking station. It'll launch from this fixed location. Once it goes up in the air, it's not recording yet. The dispatcher will be inputting the keys. That was our brain trust working on the location. Right now, we're deploying it to Dodge Park, simulating a missing child in the area. As it's flying there, it's not recording. It doesn't start recording until it gets to the scene of the location. It's on scene, so it starts showing us the video of what's going on. The nice thing about this is it has the capability that multiple people can log in at once and view the video at the same time. So if we have officers on the road, they could pull it up on their computer. The boss in the station could pull it up on their phone or their computer. Right now, you'll see we're simulating looking for a missing person. And even while one person is watching in one mode, someone else could be looking in infrared or have this view while the other person has a normal eye view. Not all individuals logged in have to use the same view of the camera system. Once it's going through its search and we're feeling that the call is coming to an end, it will circle back around. It's scanning the location. But once it's over, it stops recording. Now it's been dispatched to a traffic stop. As you see, it didn't record until it was there. You see our officers on the stop right there. It's recording the incident. The call is completing. And the DFR stops recording, and you don't notice again until it's docking. Once it's docking, it's going to lock itself in place. It'll close its protective lid and automatically self-recharging for the next deployment. I heard a wow. So what is the benefit of this? Faster situational awareness, decreased risk for first responders and city workers responding to emergency scenes, help in locating missing kids, walk away from senior facilities, persons on the Clinton River and in our PERC system, reduce need for unnecessary resource deployment, accident scene assessment and size up before we even arrive, water main break assessments, flooding and storm damage assessments, and enhancing coordination during emergencies. To recap, this DFR program will enhance multidisciplinary public safety response by assisting the fire department with hotspot identification and scope of possible fires, assessing the severity of traffic crashes before resources are committed, the Department of Public Works identifying water main breaks and providing rapid situational awareness during flooding or severe weather events. We could have used this program countless of times over the last year alone, and what this results in is Sterling Heights remaining one of the safest cities in America. Privacy and civil liberties concerns. The drone deployment is limited to specific approved public safety incidents such as police emergencies, natural disasters, storm assessment, fires, flooding, and similar life safety events. As I stated, no facial recognition or biometric technology, no random or continuous monitoring. During flight, the camera will remain horizontal until it arrives unless extraordinary dangerous situation arises. The recording stops when the incident concludes, and the video is only retained in accordance with the Michigan Rules of Evidence and Department Policy. Privacy and civil liberties were central to the development of this program. DFR is not used for general surveillance. As you can see on this slide, this is, when I talk about transparency, it'll only be operated by trained and authorized personnel in full compliance with the FFA Part 107. It's governed by the City Department policy and procedures. It's subject to supervisory reviews, complies with all state and federal law, and the program use is auditable and reviewable with the transparency dashboard. The view you see right here is what the citizens would see. It shows the flight path of the drone, what time it was dispatched, where it went, and why it was dispatched. This will all be trackable by the citizens. There'll be no random flyovers. If someone says, hey, I seen a drone in my yard, I think it was the police, you'll be able to pull up this dashboard and show the GPS breadcrumb that the drone has left. Being fiscally responsible, these funds were budgeted in the 25-26 budget. We did a comprehensive evaluation with 3 vendors. It includes a full life cycle cost, including hardware, software, waivers, maintenance, and replacement. We focused on reliability, compliance, and cost efficiency. This will be funded through the public safety forfeiture funds. This was a planned investment, not an unexpected cost. Vendors were carefully evaluated to ensure the city received a compliant, reliable, and fiscally responsible solution. And if you break this down, for the approximate cost of 1 year of this program, we are getting one officer with 24/7 protection for the same amount of money. They will be strategically placed throughout the city. Right now, our tentative plans are one at the police department and one at stations 3 and 4 of the Sterling Heights fire departments. This will give us the maximum coverage that we need to cover most of the city. They were selected based on response time and coverage needs, ensuring the ability to support critical locations, industrial areas, major intersections, parks, and this will cover all 3 of our high schools as well. I want to thank you for your time tonight. If you have any questions, with me today are Luke, Zach, and Alex from Skydio. I also have Sergeant John Carrion in the back there. He'll be our drone commander. He has been heading up the drone program since we've had it for 8 years. Our goal here is transparency, safety, and accountability. Thank you, everyone, for the time.
And Mayor, knowing the topic, I just want to make a closing comment. I'm sure you probably have some questions. Again, going back to when I first started out, we've used drone technology for a while, but the difference is our officers had to be on the scene. And then you had to dispatch a drone operator, which could take a half hour, could take longer. They would have to come to the station, get the drone, drive out to the scene, and then launch a drone on site. In this case, it takes a matter of seconds. You punch in the address or the coordinates, and the drone automatically launches, flies right to the scene, beyond line of sight, and that's the term that's so important. The drone operator does not have to have the drone in sight. This new technology is beyond line of sight. So you can see how powerful this tool will be for the department. But Mayor, I'm sure you and council members may have some questions.
Well, we may, but we have this agenda item, so I think what we'll do is wait until then.
Great.
Is that fair?
Good idea.
Okay.
Now, on the drone topic, I did want to highlight, there is another item on your agenda tonight on consent. It was not pulled. It is to authorize implementation of Drone Airspace Essentials Program. So, as council knows, we've been working on a citywide drone assessment. It's not just public agencies who are using drones. It's recreational individuals that use drones, and also commercial uses now are growing rapidly. For example, the FAA just started a public notice period whereby the public can weigh in on Amazon's request to begin delivering services, goods, products via drone in Sterling Heights, throughout the entire metro area, but it includes Sterling Heights. So once this public comment and review process concludes over the next few months and Amazon gets their approval from the FAA, they will be delivering packages in Sterling Heights. That's just the tip of the iceberg. You're going to have multiple retailers and others delivering goods in Sterling Heights. So what does that mean for all of us? It means that as a community, as a city, we have to now design and regulate to the extent necessary the airspace above our heads for drones. We can't regulate airspace beyond drones, beyond 400 feet. That's for airplanes and helicopters and so on. But communities do have the ability to regulate drone usage. Imagine if you have no rules and you have potentially thousands, maybe tens of thousands of drones flying overhead, hovering over rear yards, making deliveries early in the morning, at night. It could become very intrusive. So the city needs rules, it needs regulations. So this agenda item tonight is for the phase 2. We've already done the assessment of drone usage in the city and what it means in the future. This phase 2 will better define what's actually happening above us right now as we then prepare for the regulations that are necessary to design these highways in the sky, if you will, over our head. So this new technology is expanding. It's very important that the city stay abreast of it and stay ahead of the curve. And so with that, I just have one last item, and that is at the conclusion of tonight's agenda, I'm requesting that the city council convene a closed session pursuant to Section 8H of the Open Meetings Act for council to consult with the city attorney regarding 2 confidential legal opinions. And Mayor, that concludes my report this evening. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Vanderpool. Thank you, Deputy Chief and Chief, for your presentations, as well as Ms. Baldwin and Ms. Snowden. Thank you for those presentations as well. We have another presentation tonight, and this is a presentation of the Employee and Department Office Awards for 2025. We do have introductions by our Community Relations Director, Melanie Davis, and Human Resources Director, Kate Baldwin. Who will take it first?
I will.
Ms. Baldwin.
Good evening again, Mayor Taylor, honorable members of the City Council, Mr. Koszybski and Mr. Vanderpool. As Director of Human Resources for the City of Sterling Heights, I'm delighted to welcome you as we host our Employee Awards ceremony and proudly recognize and celebrate the recipients of our 2025 Employee Recognition Awards. We will begin with the departmental awards, inviting our department directors and leaders to announce and present their honorees. Following those presentations, we will recognize the Part-Time Employee of the Year, Outstanding Performance of the Year, Full-Time Employee of the Year, Administrator of the Year, and then Office and Department of the Year. Office/Department of the Year, excuse me. Once all awards have been presented and individual photos are taken with each honoree's department director, we will invite the City Council to join us in the lobby for a group photo with all of tonight's honorees. We kindly ask all honorees to remain after the ceremony for this group photo. Joining me this evening is Melanie Davis, our Community Relations Director, who will also be serving as MC for tonight's ceremony.
Thank you, Kate, and thank you, Council and Mayor, Mr. Koszybski, Mr. Vanderpool. It's my distinct honor and privilege to be able to announce this year's department-level employee awards. And for the first departmental award, we invite Library Director Tammy Turgeon to come announce the recipient of the Sterling Heights Public Library Employee of the Year Award.
Good evening, Mayor Taylor, members of City Council, Mr. Vanderpool, Mr. Koszybski, and residents. I am honored tonight to recognize Diane Spelich as the 2025 Library Employee of the Year. Diane has been on the library staff for almost 10 years. She started as a part-time library clerk in the library circulation department in 2016, and then moved up to the library assistant position in 2020. She was then promoted to her current position as the circulation supervisor in 2022. Diane keeps one of our most important departments running smoothly with an ever-increasing number of checkouts, check-ins, new library cards, and outreach to our community members. Just to give you an idea, Diane and her staff of 1 full-time and 10 part-time staff checked out over 250,000 items, registered almost 4,000 library cards, filled over 26,000 holds, and handled over 4,000 phone calls just in the past 6 months. Diane participates in many of the outreach events that the library is present at. You might have seen her signing people up for new library cards at the Senior Center Book Fair and at the Dodge Park Farmers Market. Diane is also a frequent participant in many of the library's reels on social media. Our patrons love seeing her have fun while promoting the library and all of the great services we have. When Diane is asked to assist with a new project, she always does it with a smile and a can-do attitude. She works professionally with her staff to provide suggestions for policy updates, as well as suggestions on how to make her department run as efficiently as possible. Diane runs the department that is the face of the library to many of our patrons, and we wouldn't be as successful as we are without the excellent customer service that she and her staff provide. Diane has a lot of enthusiasm for the library, our patrons, and the city. We are so lucky to have her on our staff as a valuable member of our team. Congratulations, Diane.
Good evening. I just wanted to thank Tammy. She's a great leader, director of the library. All of my staff, clerks, pages, they're all very important. coworkers at the library. It's, pleasure to be there because we're there for a lot of hours during the day. And also, I'd like to thank my family, and that's about it. Thank you. And to all the patrons who still love to read. So we're glad you come in. Thank you. Shout out to Lena.
Next up, we have Parks and Recreation Director Kyle Langlois, who will announce the recipient of the Parks and Recreation Part-Time and then Full-Time Employee of the Year Awards.
Thank you, Melanie, and good evening, Mayor Taylor, members of council, all gathered here tonight to celebrate the great work of all those being recognized today. It is my pleasure to stand before you to introduce two individuals from the Parks and Recreation Department that work tirelessly each day to make the department and the city a better place. The department's first award tonight is for the Part-Time Employee of the Year, with this year's honoree being one of our facility site coordinators, Lucas Kernan. Lucas joined the Parks and Recreation Department in 2021 and has since established himself as a leader within the department, showing that no task is too small and none too big. Since his time with us, Lucas has become one of the lead site coordinators at the community center, taking on the important role of training and guiding new site coordinators, program assistants, and building monitors as they come into our department. Lucas has also embraced the role of parking lot lead at the community center on Dodge Park Thursdays, helping to ensure that the lot is set up properly for traffic flow to run smoothly and safely. While many staff prefer to be in the fray of the concert or the farmers market area proper, Lucas has recognized the importance of that role and, as always, selflessly steps up to the plate. This past year, Lucas also took it upon himself to create a map of the grass parking lot used on most nights to help manage the flow of vehicles without the luxury of parking spaces and avoid trouble areas such as standing water. This tool undoubtedly will be used every year moving forward. Lucas operates each day with a calm and steady demeanor, even in some of the most challenging situations at the community center and special events. Lucas is a constant promoter of the city and the department and has been a pipeline for helping to attract new and quality employees. He has an unrelenting thirst for information and knowledge about how municipalities operate, with a strong attention for detail, all while managing the role of being an RA of a residence hall at Oakland University, where he is studying public administration and public policy with a double major in economics. His future plans include obtaining a master's in public administration with aspirations to one day become a city manager, which I have no doubt he will succeed at, so good for him. As I close on this introduction, I can confidently say that Lucas undoubtedly makes our department better and that we can all rest easier each time he is on shift. Please join me in congratulating Lucas Kernan today for being named the Parks and Recreation Department's Part-Time Employee of the Year.
I'll keep it short. Mayor Taylor, council members, Mr. Vanderpool, Mr.
And if you're going to be a
Kajewski,
city manager.
family, friends, and colleagues that are here with us, I am truly honored and humbled to receive this award and be here tonight with all of you. It means a great deal to be recognized, and I know this achievement not only reflects my efforts, but also the tremendous team that I work with in the Parks and Recreation Department and throughout our entire organization. Now, I am a part-time employee, but I can say for certain that I felt nothing short of a full member of the team here, and that's thanks to the support, guidance, and encouragement of my colleagues, supervisors, and city leadership. Working together to serve our community is something I'm deeply proud of and find to be truly inspiring as I pursue a career in local government management. I'd be remiss if I did not thank my family, especially my parents, for their constant support and motivation and helped me pursue my life goals for which this organization has also helped lay a strong foundation for. I'd also like to say thank you to the residents of Sterling Heights, as the role I serve would not exist, nor the opportunities that I've had without their support. So thank you again for this honor, and I'm excited to continue working alongside all of you to innovate living in the city of Sterling Heights.
Watch out, Mark.
Even got the slogan in there. It said
Don't limit yourself, Lucas. You can achieve more than just city manager.
All right. Our next award is for the Parks and Recreation Department's Full-Time Employee of the Year, which I am pleased to give to our administrative assistant, Katie Neefer. The administrative assistant position in our department is the bridge to every segment of our programs, services, and offerings. The position requires problem-solving skills, a strong work ethic, organization, and the ability to live in many different zones at once with the need to collaborate across the department, balancing unique work styles of each employee. And as you may have guessed, Katie embodies all those characteristics and more. Although Katie only joined the department a few years ago in a seasonal role, she very clearly had the capacity and desire to do more for the organization and the community she served. This resulted in being hired as a part-time unionized clerical employee at the senior center, where she brought a more bubbly and youthful exuberance to that facility. I must say, too, that the seniors absolutely loved Katie, and they tell me every time I'm over there how much they miss her. Since taking the administrative assistant role, she has constantly shown a desire to be a part of more within the department, offering to work special events and better support the programs and services we offer, as well as the hundreds of employees that make up our department. In fact, as a previous seasonal employee, she recognizes the need to bridge a gap between full-time and part-time employees and created a bulletin board to celebrate the great work and accomplishments of staff within the department, which she maintains regularly. She has a desire to improve not only her work product, but the experiences and processes surrounding the entire department, all of which became very relevant this past year as we were required to change our recreation management software that had been in place for over a decade. When Katie was approached with the task of taking a lead on the implementation of new software, there's no hesitation in accepting her role. From being a part of the RFP evaluation committee, to spearheading weekly meetings, to build the back end of the system, to learning and understanding the software well enough to train and sometimes retrain full and part-time employees, there is no doubt that we would not be as far along today as we are with the software and having it ready to go online this past December. It took countless of hours away from other tasks, took countless hours away from her friends and family, but she accomplished it all, even while juggling college courses in the evening. Undoubtedly, there is so much more to explore, utilize, and improve upon with this new software, and I am confident Katie will be up for that task too. In closing, Katie has solidified herself in the department as a go-to employee that has continually demonstrated the ability to think critically, see the bigger picture, and show leadership to all areas of the department, and it is for these reasons and more that she is deserving of being named the Parks and Recreation Department's Full-Time Employee of the Year.
I'm sorry, I typed my speech on my phone. I just want to say thank you for this award. I'm so proud and truly honored to have a job I actually love and enjoy coming to every single day. I want to say thank you to Mark DeSanto and Bobby Wilson for hiring me and guiding me through my career here, and I'm sure for many more years to come. And I would like to thank Kyle for always listening to me, even though if he doesn't always agree, he always listens, which is important. And then I also wanted to say thank you to my parents who always support me, as well as my fiance who couldn't be here tonight because he's a firefighter from Macomb Township, and he's on shift right now. So that's where he's at. And then lastly, as I have the platform right now, I just want to say there are no jobs more important than jobs that serve communities. Public services keep America together, and keeping our local communities strong and inclusive are the most important things we can be doing today. No one should feel unwelcome or unsafe where they live, and I am truly proud I'm truly proud to work for a form of government that I believe is both strong and inclusive for all people that live here. Thank you.
Next, we invite DPW Director Mike Moore to the podium to introduce this year's DPW part-time and full-time employees of the year.
Well, good evening, City Council, Mayor, City Manager, and City Attorney, and residents as well. Tonight I have the pleasure of recognizing someone who truly sets the standard of what a part-time employee can be. It is my honor to present the Public Works Part-Time Employee of the Year, Dale Kirsch. Dale joined our team in September of 2021 at the Recycling Center, and from the start has been a great fit. Before coming to Public Works, Dale spent many years in the retail world, and while that experience clearly helped shape his excellent customer service skills, we're very glad he decided to bring those talents to us and not look back. Dale is somebody people immediately feel comfortable with. He is kind, empathetic, honest, and genuinely enjoys helping others. Our residents consistently appreciate working with him, and his positive attitude makes him a pleasure for all coworkers. What makes Dale especially unique is the wide range of experiences he brings with him. He's authored a Christian book, spent years performing as a magician, and is working towards becoming a pastor one day. All those experiences shine through in the way he connects with people, calm, thoughtful, and respectful in every situation. Just as impressive is Dale's reliability and professionalism. Since being hired, he has been a model employee, no drama, no missed days, no negative issues. He just shows up, does his job well, and does it with consistency and integrity. Dale, we are truly fortunate to have you as part of the Public Works team. Thank you for your positive impact you make every day and for representing our department so well. You do a great job, bud. Congratulations to Dale Kirsch, our Public Works Part-Time Employee of the Year. Please join me in giving Dale a well-deserved round of applause.
Sure. Thank you so much. I am very honored for this. I appreciate my job. I appreciate working for the city of Sterling Heights, where I can interact with the residents. And thank you so much.
I'm also here today to recognize someone who truly represents what it means to be a DPW mechanic. Oh gosh, wow, we go way back. Holy moly. This April marks 24 years of service for Derek Upton, and in that time he's proven again and again there's no challenge too big, too small, or too strange for him to take on. If it has an engine, or even if it barely qualifies as one, I promise you, Derek can fix it. From a weed whip to an unloader and everything in between, he gets it done. But Derek's impact goes far beyond mechanical skill. He's always ready and willing to step up and help whenever he's needed without hesitation and without complaint. He's the kind of coworker you can count on, assuming you can find him. Around the shop, Derek has earned the nickname Houdini. If you've ever turned around and wondered, where did Derek go? Don't worry, you're not alone. He has a unique talent for disappearing at just the right moment, and more often than not, reappearing shortly after. A true master of the Great Escape. And of course, no one keeps the shop atmosphere lighter than Derek. As the resident jokester and prankster, he keeps everyone on their toes and makes sure there's never a dull moment. And add to that, he's a role as a shop DJ, someone who's always knowing the exact song for the moment, and if you've got someone who keeps morale running just as smoothly as the equipment. Outside of work, Derek is a drummer. He's in a band, been in a band for quite a while, loves music, boating, snowmobiles, mini bikes, which perfectly fits his energy and hands-on personality. Most importantly, Derek is just a genuinely good man. You are. You're a great dude. Dependable, skilled, generous with his time, and proud of the work he does. To me, he's the definition of a DPW mechanic and a true asset to the department. I can remember many a times when I was a mechanic working alongside Derek, and I would be scratching my head and not be able to figure it out. And I would go ask him, like, hey, man, you got a minute? Can you help me work on this? And every time, yeah, of course, what do you got? No problem. It was never an issue for him. He's always been happy to help. Knowing Derek over 22 years now, he has consistently been a positive person at work. I think it's also important to note this last piece. Often, a supervisor will inform me if an employee stood out. They'll approach me throughout the day, or if there was a long overnight shift, they'll come up to me in the morning and they want to express somebody who really stood out. I told Derek this when we were standing in the hallway. Your name came up a lot this year. It really did. Comments that I remember very well. Derek crushed it last night. That guy's a rock star. These are all different occasions. So glad Derek came in for overtime. Man, I'm glad that guy's a mechanic here. That's supervisors talking about you. It's an honor to recognize him today. Please join me in congratulating our Employee of the Year, Derek Upton, a mechanic who can fix anything, keep us laughing, and occasionally vanish without a trace.
Just want to say thank you. I appreciate working here. I love being part of a team. It's been a great place to work and support of people I work with, especially supervisors, and them asking for my opinions and feeding off each other. And it's been a great 24 years. And I appreciate everything and all your support for us too. Thank you.
Next up, we have Fire Chief Kevin Edmond to announce this year's Fire Department Awards.
Good evening. Mike's always a tough act to follow. Always. So good evening, Mayor, council members, Mr. Vanderpool. Tonight I want to present Alex Gross, Firefighter of the Year, and Matt Schladowski, Fire Officer of the Year. Each year our department chooses individuals who demonstrate the commitment to the residents, members of the organization through their actions and deeds. Alex is a senior firefighter in the department, is a beacon of dedication. His leadership qualities are top tier. He has paramedic skills, his firefighting skills, his role as a mentor is a testament to his unwavering commitment of service to the residents. He consistently seeks opportunities to educate himself and others every time he goes to a school or comes back. He participates in numerous fire department ceremonies. He's always at the open house. You'll probably see him in his Swiftwater Rescue or hanging off the tower there. He's always willing to give back, and he participates in the Honor Guard. So he's always finding a way to give back. His passions in ensuring the community receives the highest level of care for the residents is evidence in the many things he does to this point in his career. Here are some of the quotes that his fellow employees have put forward. He leads by example while in the fire station, on calls, and on the training grounds. He's active in training new hires in orientation. He holds himself and others to a very high standard. Alex is very active in the technical rescue team. He is always seeking knowledge and additional education. I've worked with Alex many times in the union and find him a very dedicated member. He seeks to ensure all members follow our department core values of excellence, loyalty, integrity, tradition, and equity. I'm honored tonight to present Alex Gross with Firefighter of the Year.
I don't have much to say. Thank you, guys. I love my job. It's the best job I ever had, and you guys make me able to do that. So I thank you. Thank my family. I know you heard them in the back. Yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Now for Matt. Matt's a leader in the organization. He's a shining example of a positive attitude. His tireless work ethic, commitment to excellence, and his contagious positivity makes him a strong standout figure. His leadership skills, approachability, and his role in promoting a positive work environment is a very influential thing in our department. Matt was recently promoted to training chief in 2025. In his new role, he's been actively working with recruitment, both in Utica school systems and Warren Con. Recently, we hosted in the fire department a 3-day session where we brought students to the fire department to learn about our occupation, and Matt headed that up. The feedback from the students was very positive with that. So here's some of the comments that Matt has received from his peers. Matt strives for excellence in all aspects of training and recruitment. He leads a team that makes sure our new hires are very successful going forward. He works to bring the newest training techniques and knowledge back to the fire department, to our members. I've worked closely with Matt in the past year as his job as training officer, and I know firsthand his passion for the job. He shows this through his action and his word. His drive and energy he brings to work is impressive, and it shows by what he's accomplished to this date. I'm pleased to present Matt Sladowski with Officer of the Year.
Good evening, City Council. I would like to thank everyone that supported me along the way in this last year. It was rather challenging. I would say this is the platform that I can thank my wife and my 2 kids in the room as I dragged them through it with unwaveringly support. Though we call it an award, I'd accept this as a challenge that I'm going to have to continue to earn it, and here's to continuing to earn it.
Thank you, Chief Edmond. Next up, we have Police Chief Andy Satterfield to announce this year's recipients of the Police Department Awards.
Thank you. I'm glad I didn't have to follow Mike Moore. Appreciate that. Good evening, Mayor Taylor, City Council members, City Attorney Kozubski, City Manager Vanderpool, fellow employees, and guests. On behalf of the Sterling Heights Police Department, thank you for hosting tonight's Employee of the Year Awards and for your continued support and recognition of our employees. It's my honor to introduce our Department Employee of the Year recipients, individuals who truly exemplify the very best of the Sterling Heights Police Department. Up first, we have Police Officer of the Year, Officer Andre Basin. I'm truly proud to recognize Officer Andre Basin as Officer of the Year. Andre's been described to me as a humble performer, the kind of officer who simply gets things done, often without being asked and never looking for credit. Since joining the department in 2015, Officer Basin has taken on roles that many wouldn't, and this past year he went above and beyond yet again. He is our only certified traffic crash reconstructionist, completing more than 20 reconstructions last year alone. He also is the only officer trained on the Leica scanner, a highly technical tool that plays a critical role in serious crash investigations. His attention to detail and expertise were key in securing a conviction in a complicated and tragic drunk driving accident that resulted in a death at 15 Mile and Van Dyke. He's also just recently trained and certified as one of our 2 state-certified commercial motor vehicle inspectors. His work as a CMV officer is already paying dividends on preserving our roads and making them safer for the community. But Andre's impact isn't just technical, it's personal. He takes the time to call families of fatal crash victims on the anniversaries of their loss, offering support when it's needed most. That compassion says everything about the kind of officer and person that he is. Behind the scenes, Andre also took it upon himself to help our fleet operations, organizing DPW inventory so patrol vehicles could be outfitted efficiently. His work saved the department thousands of dollars and made our officers safer and more comfortable in the field. Andre serves in the Traffic Safety Bureau, Honor Guard, and as a crisis negotiator, and no matter the role, he brings professionalism, humility, and a positive attitude. For his dedication, skill, and genuine care for others, Officer Andre Basin is an incredibly deserving officer of Police Officer of the Year.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to first start by thanking my wife Danielle, my father-in-law Jim for being here, my mother-in-law who couldn't be here because she's watching our little one, and just say that it's a true honor to be selected by my coworkers and the chief and the upper command for this award, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Next up, we have the Command Officer of the Year, Chad Finkbeiner. With more than 21 years of service, Lieutenant Chad Finkbeiner exemplifies leadership, professionalism, and dedication. In every job that Lieutenant Finkbeiner has been assigned to at Sterling Heights PD, he has excelled. Some of these assignments are road patrol, evidence technician, criminal detective, a detective sergeant with investigations, and team commander of the Special Response Team. In all of these assignments, he's been a mentor, a motivator, and problem solver who develops his team members. Currently, Chad is in charge of the midnight shift. The hours can be demanding, long, quiet, and often overlooked, but Lieutenant Finkbeiner has approached them with consistency, professionalism, and a positive mindset. By setting the tone with calm leadership, open communication, and respect for the team, he's helped turn challenges into opportunities for growth. His presence has encouraged cooperation, boosted morale, and reminded us that no shift is just another shift, when leadership truly cares. Here are some of the highlights of Lieutenant Chad Finkbeiner's accomplishments from 2025. Chad coordinated and implemented a new unified training schedule and curriculum for the Special Response Team and Crisis Negotiation Team, providing a collaborative training environment without causing a strain on manpower. He also researched and replaced antiquated Special Response Team equipment to better provide his team with the resources to do their jobs. As the team commander, Lieutenant Finkbeiner successfully handled 16 Special Response Team and Crisis Negotiations Team incidents, which were all resolved peacefully. Because of Lieutenant Finkbeiner, the midnight shift and Special Response Team is not only productive, but more unified and motivated. His example shows how one leader's attitude can make a lasting difference. Thank you, Lieutenant Finkbeiner, for leading with purpose and positivity, and you are very deserving of Command Officer of the Year.
I wrote a couple things down. I'm not as smooth as some of these guys. Thank you very much for having us here tonight and for your continued support of the police department. The city has given me and my family so many great memories and benefits over the past 22 years, so thank you for that. In order to win this award, someone has to take the time to write you up. I appreciate Captain Hopper for her support and mentorship over the past few years. Doing this job is hard, working 12s is hard, working midnights is hard, but I've had the best support team at home with my family. I've been surrounded by amazing coworkers at the police department in the city, and we all do it for the right reason, to take care of the city and the citizens. Finally, to be recognized as Command Officer of the Year is amazing, but it's really not about me. There's so many great leaders, command officers in this department, starting with the chief and deputy chief. Anybody could have won this award. In order for our department to continue to be great, we have to have so many great people working at a high level, which I believe we do, and we continue to get better and keep hiring more and more better people. I believe in what we do. I believe in our chief. I believe in the staff. I'm proud to work with Sterling Heights. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you.
Next up, we have Detective of the Year, Detective Josh Selby. He's currently assigned to our Investigations Division, and as our Intelligence Analyst Officer, Detective Selby has a real talent for taking complex data and turning it into actionable intelligence that officers can actually use. He is the go-to person for criminal intelligence, not just within our department, but across the region. Regularly working with local, state, and federal agencies, he has directly contributed to countless successful cases for our agency and neighboring jurisdictions. Detective Selby also plays a key role in the police department's Comeback Quick Response Team and Redirect program. His work in this area helps people struggling with substance abuse issues to get treatment and rehabilitation through our partners with the nonprofit organization Face Addiction Now. Here are a few of Detective Selby's accomplishments in 2025. He saved an individual's life a few months ago by administering Narcan to a victim of a drug overdose. This occurred while he was doing a home visit with the Comeback Quick Response Team and the Face Addiction Now staff. He was instrumental in researching, evaluating, and implementing state-of-the-art investigative technology to help keep the police department at the top of its game in regards to intelligence gathering and analysis. Detective Selby played a key role in the identification, investigation, and apprehension of a bank robbery suspect in the spring at 15 Mile and Van Dyke. He's also performed dozens of technology and intelligence-based investigations, which has resulted in apprehensions of numerous wanted suspects. For his dedication, skill, and genuine care for others, Detective Josh Selby is incredibly deserving of Detective of the Year.
Well, I just want to say it's an honor to receive an award like this. You know, we have a very talented detective bureau. I think any one of them could have been up here tonight. In my mind, I think all of them deserve to be up here tonight. But I'm very grateful. It's nice to be appreciated. I did want to say thanks to my wife, Sarah, for being here and supporting me through my career, and my family that's watching tonight. Thank you.
And finally, we have our Civilian of the Year, Jocelyn Scoggins, who's a data analysis. For nearly 25 years, Jocelyn, or Jossie as she prefers to be called, has been the quiet force behind the scenes whose work allows this department to function at the highest level. As our data analysis, she compiles and tracks the data that drives our budgeting, grants, staffing decisions, equipment purchases, and new positions. She ensures our crime statistics, traffic data, alarm billing, and FBI and state reporting are accurate and completed on time. This is work that directly supports Sterling Heights being recognized as the safest big city in Michigan. This past year, while facing a personal medical battle, Jossie continued to serve with professionalism, pride, and unwavering dedication, never allowing her challenges to affect the quality of her work or her care for others. She does it all with a smile and a positive attitude. Her consistency, resilience, and commitment to this city make her truly deserving of this honor. Unfortunately, Jossie was admitted into the hospital late last night due to her medical battle, but she sends her thank you and appreciation for being recognized, and I'd like to give her a round of applause as we send our thoughts and best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And now up, we have 41A District Court Judge Anne Marie Lepore with support from Chief Judge Stephen Sorosky. And they are going to announce this year's 41A District Court Employee of the Year recipients.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of City Council, Mr. Vanderpool, Mr. Koszubski. Tonight, myself, along with my colleague, are very pleased to honor our Chief Probation Officer, Elizabeth Gaddioli, as our 2025 Employee of the Year. Liz has been a dedicated employee of the court since 2012. She began her career here as a probation officer after joining us from the 36th District Court in Detroit. She is a proud Michigan State University graduate and earned her degrees in psychology and social relations. Combined with her experience in the legal community, this background made her an excellent fit for our court. Liz quickly distinguished herself through her work ethic, professionalism, and exceptional ability to manage a demanding caseload. In recognition of these strengths, she was promoted to Chief Probation Officer in 2015. In this role, Liz not only manages her own caseload, but also oversees the entire probation department, which includes a full-time probation officer and 2 probation clerks. With an estimated caseload of more than 1,000 probationers, her attention to detail and strong leadership are key reasons the department operates as smoothly and efficiently as it does. Liz also serves as the coordinator for the 41A District Court Sobriety Court. I might be biased, but this highly successful program was spearheaded by myself along with the support of my colleagues, and Liz played a vital role in its development by ensuring all required documentation was completed and that the necessary training was undertaken so this court could be certified by the State Court Administrative Office, and she wrote the grant. As coordinator, she was responsible for ensuring that that grant money is properly administered. Her passion and dedication to this program helped the court secure additional federal funding, and we were able to hire a part-time sobriety court probation officer to further support our participants as they work toward their success. And in addition to all that, Liz also serves as the court's Americans with Disabilities Act coordinator. She stays current on all the ADA laws and guidelines to ensure that the needs of the court participants are addressed promptly and appropriately. Her efforts have included securing hearing assistance devices for the courtrooms, establishing support animal guidelines for staff and litigants, and providing ADA-related resources for individuals navigating the court system. The 41A District Court is extremely fortunate to have Liz as a part of our team. This award is just one small way to express our sincere appreciation for all that she does. Please join me in welcoming Liz forward to accept her award.
City Council, thank you very much. I'll put this up a little bit. Thank you. I didn't really have anything prepared to say, but I do want to say thank you so much. My family's here. Thank you for coming. All I can say is that having wonderful judges really makes it easy. I have a great support staff. I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to serve the city of Sterling Heights and the citizens, and I really look forward to continuing all these efforts that I've put in for as long as I possibly can to make sure that this is a wonderful city to live in and to work in. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks. And let's give another round of applause to all of our departmental award recipients this evening.
And for the last segment of our Employee Awards ceremony, we'll move on to the recognition awards. It's important to note that each of these award recipients were nominated by their coworkers and friends. These individuals have demonstrated hard work, dedication, going above and beyond, all while being gracious and adding positivity to the workplace. Let's invite up Finance and Budget Director Jennifer Varney and our City Treasurer Gia Hang to present and announce the Part-Time Employee of the Year.
Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Mr. Vanderpool, Mr. Koszubski, members of council, residents, and family. I'm very happy to be here tonight to present the Part-Time Employee of the Year to Nora Surmi from the Treasury Office. Nora has been with the Treasury Office nearly 3 years and spent most of her day serving residents who come into City Hall to pay bills or ask questions. So as you can imagine, that can be a difficult chore some days. But Nora always greets residents with a smile, providing excellent customer service every day. And I have personally witnessed Nora going above and beyond to assist in translation for residents who need assistance, not only for the Treasury Office, but she has become an invaluable asset for all of City Hall. She has even helped out the city social workers and the police department, helping out residents who need trouble with language assistance. And so now I would like to introduce City Treasurer Gia Hang, who is Nora's direct supervisor, who can tell us a little more about Nora.
Good evening, everyone. It's truly an honor to recognize someone who has become an exceptional asset to our department. Since joining the Treasury Department in February of 2023, Nora has consistently demonstrated what reliability, dedication, and professionalism looks like in action. She arrives on time each day, ready to learn, ready to work, eager to learn, and prepared to take on whatever the day brings. That level of consistency alone is impressive, but Nora goes far beyond what's expected of her. One of Nora's most valuable contribution is her bilingual skill set, which allows her to comfortably and effectively serve our diverse residential population. She generously assists with translation at the window whenever needed, doing so willingly and selflessly. Her readiness to step in during staff shortages further reflects her teamwork, flexibility, and genuine commitment to supporting both her colleagues and the mission of our department. Beyond her professional contribution, Nora is also the proud mother of school-age children, which makes her dedication even more admirable. Balancing the demands of family life while continuing to perform her duties at such a high level, particularly during the school year, speaks volume about her work ethic and character. Nora's positive attitude, willingness to help others, and selfless contributions do not go unnoticed. She embodies the values we strive for as a department, and she is truly deserving of this award. Please join me in recognizing and thanking Nora for everything she does.
Thank you so much for the kind words. Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to be here tonight and to receive this award. I'm so grateful for the chance to serve the community I grew up in. Since starting at the city, I've learned so much, and I get to work alongside an amazing and supportive team. I would like to thank my family for always encouraging me, and special thanks to James McDonald and to all who voted for this recognition. I'm looking forward to continue to learn, grow, and give back to the city I love. Thank you.
Next up, we have Police Chief Andy Satterfield and Fire Chief Kevin Edmond, who will announce our next award, the Sterling Heights Outstanding Performance of the Year.
Thank you. I'm going to announce the Outstanding Performance Award, since there's two people getting the award, Mark Hansel, since he's assigned to the police department, and Chief Edmond is going to announce Marnie Fenzik. So, Mark Hansel, Case Manager. It's truly an honor to recognize Mark Hansel as the recipient of the 2025 Outstanding Performance of the Year Award. Even though Mark joined the city as a case manager in the fall of 2024, it didn't take long for everyone to realize he was someone both our residents and our staff could rely on. Every day, Mark works with people during some of the hardest moments of their lives. He helps connect them to mental health services, housing, substance abuse resources, and other community support. And he does it with patience, compassion, and genuine care. Mark doesn't just work cases, he takes the time to listen and build trust. He's also an important part of the Safe Homes Task Force, where he regularly steps up and helps strengthen how we protect our most vulnerable residents. One case from this past year really says a lot about who Mark is. He responded to a concern involving a 100-year-old resident living alone with serious physical limitations. When resources weren't immediately available, Mark didn't pass it along. He personally made small home repairs so she could safely remain in her home. Later, when he discovered that a former nursing aide had been suspiciously added to the home deed of the elderly woman's house, he knew something wasn't right. Even after running into several roadblocks, Mark didn't give up. He found legal help, coordinated every step, and made sure that that deed was corrected and the resident's home was protected. Because of Mark's persistence and compassion, that resident gained peace of mind and security. This is just one example of how Mark consistently goes above and beyond. His heart for service, integrity, and determination make him truly deserving of the 2025 Outstanding Performance of the Year Award.
I can't say enough about this program that we have. Before I talk about Marnie, one quick thing about Mark. I remember the first day he started, we had a house fire, and his very first day was, here you go, let's help these people, because it was a cluttered home. It was top-notch stuff. Marnie plays a vital role in advancing community safety through the exceptional work she does as a case manager for the fire department. She manages complex, high-risk cases, directly affects fire and life safety through what she does. And dealing with the vulnerable residents in unsafe living conditions and having significant challenges. Marnie's even been seen helping residents do yard work and stuff. So she really puts her heart and soul into this. Through her work with Safe Home Task Force and the coordination with local resources, she has a direct impact improving our residents' lives in Sterling Heights. Marnie consistently demonstrates professionalism, compassion, sound judgment. Marnie's efforts well extend beyond case management. Her collaboration and hard work, consistent follow-through through making Sterling Heights safer. She's widely regarded and trusted as a point of contact for residents, property owners, and other city departments that call out and ask for some assistance during the most emotionally sensitive and high-risk situations, making her an invaluable asset to the organization. Through her dedication, empathy, and effectiveness, Marnie has made measurable and meaningful impacts through the community. Her work exemplifies the highest standards of public service and reflects positively on the fire department and the city as a whole. At this time, I'd like to welcome Marnie and Mark up for their awards. They are silent workers. Even when we had them up here for the mobile integrated health, they didn't want to say anything. So I'm speaking on their behalf.
And I just want to, I guess I could speak for Marnie, I think. I want to thank the leadership, city council, leadership at police and fire, the men and women of police and fire. We couldn't do this without their support, your support. Thank you.
All right.
Now, we invite Library Director Tammy Turgeon to the podium to present and announce the Full-Time Employee of the Year.
Good evening again, Mayor Taylor, members of City Council, Mr. Vanderpool, Mr. Koszewski, and residents. I'm honored tonight to recognize Annalise White as the 2025 City of Sterling Heights Full-Time Employee of the Year. If you've met Annalise, you know how amazing she is. Annalise has been on the library staff since August of 2023, when she started as a part-time librarian in our Public Services Department. Now, she actually told me that she applied for the position because she saw a video that Dan in Community Relations filmed with children retelling the story of the very hungry caterpillar and me acting as the caterpillar. Oh, no. And Karen Stein, her soon-to-be supervisor, was acting as the butterfly. And she said she wanted to work in a place where staff had fun and the community felt welcomed into the library. Annalise worked in the part-time librarian position for a little over a year when we had a sudden opening for our public relations and programs coordinator position in the fall of 2024. She applied and was selected to fill this critical role at the library. Annalise jumped right in and helped to streamline and organize the programming services of the library. She has made it easier for librarians to plan, prepare for, and execute their popular events. She encourages our librarians to be creative and promotes collaboration to make bigger events possible and less stressful. Annalise also completely reorganized our summer reading program. She spent many hours planning and executing all of the details for this event and her hard work paid off. She generated over $5,000 in sponsorships from local businesses, and the summer reading program participation increased by over 70%. During Annalise's time in her current role, the library has had a 49% increase in program attendance across all of our programming. Even with her promotion, Annalise is still presenting her Toddler Time programs twice a month and also added a monthly Destination Storytime program where children and their caregivers go to city departments and various businesses around the city to participate in a story time and also learn about the business that they are visiting. This program consistently, as I call it, sells out and has a waiting list. I love her enthusiasm for our littlest patrons. Annalise has also upped the library's social media presence by collaborating with the Community Relations Department to film reels that highlight our collections, programs, and staff. We get many patrons coming into the library commenting on how much they enjoy the reels, and Annalise continuously works to promote the library's value to the community. Annalise is also one of the lead members of the library's Staff Appreciation Committee that organizes events once a month for staff, such as our Christmas stocking exchange, a hot chocolate bar, make your own parfait day, which is tomorrow, and an ice cream sundae day, and more. Many nomination forms were received from staff, and I wanted to share some of the kind words that were written. Annalise displays a positive attitude in the workplace every day and strives to make improvements wherever she can. She's a team player and includes everyone's opinions and suggestions. No matter how full her plate is, Annalise never hesitates to help out on desk, offer advice, or take on programming of her own. She handles it all with kindness, professionalism, and apparent ease. Another one said, Annalise has a real talent for building relationships thanks to her compassionate nature and genuine interest in the lives and well-being of those around her. Annalise is a joy to work alongside and makes the library a better place every day. She brings people together, encourages creativity, and helps staff feel confident and valued in their work. Annalise has made a real difference in how our library feels and functions. She consistently goes above and beyond, and she truly deserves to be recognized for her hard work and dedication. I'd like to thank Rick, Annalise's husband, and Zara, her daughter, for sharing Annalise with us. We are so lucky to have her on our staff as a valuable member of our team. Congratulations, Annalise.
Hello, thank you so much. Libraries are one of the best things a community can have. They're free, welcoming spaces that offer far more than books, programs for all ages, access to information and technology, and a place where everyone belongs. I am incredibly honored to be here tonight and grateful to be a part of something that matters so much to so many people in our community. Thank you to my 5 wonderful colleagues who nominated me. This recognition means more than I can say. It is truly a joy to work at Sterling Heights Public Library alongside colleagues who care so deeply about our community and demonstrate that commitment every day. I want to thank my mom, who is here tonight, for making sure I got my first library card and for never, ever saying no when I wanted to check out towering piles of books. Thank you to my husband, Rick, who supported my decision and encouraged me to follow my passion into public libraries after teaching for 15 years. And finally, thank you to my daughter, Zara, who's got her headphones on, who reminds me every day why stories matter. Our 2 bedtime stories each night is something that I cherish. Because of her, Curious George and Elephant and Piggy have earned permanent spots on my favorite list. Thank you.
The next award is for the 2025 Administrator of the Year. We invite City Manager Mark Vanderpool to present and announce this year's recipient.
Good evening again, Mayor, City Council, City Attorney, fellow department directors, and our great, amazing city employees and members of the community. Before I get started, the HR director reminded me this is not a roast this evening. So I've had to temper all my comments. And one other thing, I cannot let Mr. Langlois speak longer than me, so my comments are going to exceed his. But let me just say, it's truly a privilege for me to witness all of this. It's amazing to me. It reminds me that our city organization really is nothing without our great employees. And it's a wonderful privilege and honor for me to work alongside them every single day. And it's really an honor to recognize under this award someone who has made an extraordinary impact on our organization and the community at large, and that is our fire chief, Kevin Edmond. Kevin joined the city of Sterling Heights in 2021, so 5 years ago now. It seems like time has flown by. He may not think that, but I think it has. And from day one, he has led with intention, integrity, and a clear vision for the future. He is not someone who seeks the spotlight, but he is someone whose leadership is felt every single day. Kevin is thoughtful, he's steady, he's deeply committed to doing what is best for the department, the city, and the residents we serve. Over the past few years, Kevin has led some of the most meaningful advancements, perhaps in the department's history, in fire and emergency medical services. He's guided the department through a comprehensive standards of coverage review, helping establish a clear and data-driven roadmap for how we deliver services today and for how we plan for the future, especially through our strategic plan. And he's leading our accreditation efforts, a Herculean effort, and hopefully we get through that in the next couple of years, because he believes in building strong, sustainable systems. One of Kevin's most impactful accomplishments has been the creation of the peak demand ambulance unit that just recently started. And you've heard a lot about this. There's been a lot of news coverage. This initiative wasn't just about adding resources. It required strong collaboration, innovation, and persistence. By working closely with Macomb County Dispatch and his leadership team, Kevin helped redesign how EMS calls are dispatched, ensuring better coverage during peak times and improving services for residents when they need it most. Kevin's leadership also extends well beyond Sterling Heights. He played a major role statewide advocating for the ground emergency medical transport, better known as GMT. And this is legislation that was just passed at the state level. This federal program reimburses transporting agencies for amounts subsidized by Sterling Heights for medical runs, and it's going to generate well over $1 million for us annually. Thanks in large part to Kevin's efforts in collaboration with partners all across Michigan, including the Michigan Municipal League, this program is now law in the state of Michigan. Kevin is committed to best practices, as is evidenced by the creation of the city's first ever mobile integrated health coordinator. This position works hand in hand with our social services team, including Mark and Marnie, who were just recognized, to ensure that residents are getting the routine health services they need without having to call 911 services. This new program provides one of the one-on-one resources while freeing up advanced life support paramedics to focus on life-threatening 911 calls. In addition, Kevin has successfully secured $2.5 million in a federal SAFER grant to expand department staffing, helping reduce workload pressures and, here again, enhancing public safety across our community.
According to employees in the fire department, what truly sets Kevin apart, and I know I have witnessed this, I know the mayor and the city council have experienced this firsthand, is how he leads. He empowers his team. He builds trust and fosters a culture of accountability and, most importantly, pride. He is approachable, supportive, and always willing to listen. He gives credit to others and leads with great humility, qualities that make a great difference in any organization, but certainly a fire department. Kevin is a cornerstone of the fire department's success and a valued member of the city's leadership team. His impact reaches far beyond the department and is felt throughout our entire organization and community. I want to thank the chief for his unwavering dedication, for your leadership, and your commitment to Sterling Heights. And I would be remiss, despite all of these incredible accolades, if I did not highlight one of his weaknesses, actually two of his weaknesses, and that is his allegiance to the Cleveland Guardians and the Cleveland Browns. But notwithstanding that, it truly is my honor to present you with the Administrator of the Year Award. Congratulations.
Together.
Did you break it?
Must have been on sale.
It was a fire sale.
Was it fire sale? It could have been. It doesn't look like it's burnt, but it's quite possible.
The other guy didn't want the award.
That's what it was. That's what it was. Absolutely right.
I declined. I mean,
You want it?
I know.
I mean, the plaque is removable.
It's all yours, Chief.
I want to thank everyone for nominating me on this award. This award could not be possible. Any of my accomplishments could not be possible without my loving family, my wife who supported me through my very best days and my toughest days in my career in the fire service, my 4 kids that always knew that Dad would be around somewhere. You know, I was fortunate to see some of the stuff that they did growing up, but they also realized that I had to do what I had to do. For the people that I work with, both other directors that have offered me support since I got here, the men and women of the fire department, the collaboration that we've been able to do, all the accomplishments that we've had as an organization are the results of the hard work that they put in for it. So that's truly, I thank them, because this award is for us, is what it is. I want to thank all of you up there on the dais for the support you've given me in my 5 years being here. We've accomplished a lot, but that's through teamwork that we've been able to do that. So once again, thank you. Thank my family. I appreciate it.
And to cap off this year's Employee Awards ceremony, City Manager Mark Vanderpool will be announcing the 2025 Office/Department of the Year.
Thank you again, Ms. Baldwin. Continuing on, I have the distinct honor of recognizing the department that exemplifies excellence, innovation, and a deep commitment to public service, and that is our Community Relations Department. And let me just say, under the leadership of Director Melanie Davis, the Community Relation Department plays a vital role in how our city connects with our residents, businesses, and visitors, and you see this every day in all that they do. This department ensures that accurate, timely, and meaningful information reaches the public through every available communication channel, and they do it with professionalism, creativity, and amazing enthusiasm, which is quite infectious. Community Relations oversees marketing and communications, public information, broadcast services, and resident engagement and services. Simply put, they are the voice, they are the storytellers, and often the first point of contact between the city and the people that we serve every day. Through marketing and communications, the department has elevated the city's brand and identity through thoughtful storytelling, media relations, advertising, social media, podcasts, promotional videos, and the city magazine, which, by the way, is going out in a couple of weeks in a new and improved form. They also led the complete redesign of the city's website, development of a new text alerting system, ensuring residents have access to information when it matters most. Community Relations serves as the city's public information lead during emergency operations center activations, handling press conferences, speeches, rumor control, which, believe it or not, in today's society, we need some of that, with clarity and professionalism when our residents need it most. The department's commitment to resident engagement is also very impressive. Whether residents walk into City Hall, whether they call 446 City, whether they use a See-Click Fix system, send an email, text us, they are met with knowledgeable staff who are responsive, welcoming, and genuinely interested in helping others. Residents are encouraged not just to ask questions, but share ideas, volunteer, and become more engaged in the city. And I think the Community Relations Department has done an amazing job with all the town halls that we've held throughout the years, including recent years, connecting with residents. Through Sterling Heights TV, better known as SHTV, the department keeps residents informed through City Hall and library public access channels, online streaming, YouTube, and podcasts like Talk and the Beat. Their award-winning programming showcases transparency, creativity, and trust in local government. Community Relations also supports economic development by working closely with our economic development team to promote growth and policies that strengthen Sterling Heights as a great place to live, work, and play. Beyond communications, the department builds community. They help create and support meaningful volunteer and engagement groups, including the African American Coalition, the Community Alliance, Sterling Heights Initiative for Neighborhood Excellence, better known as SHINE, and an impressive citywide volunteer corps. They coordinate major events such as Sterling Fest, Memorial Day Parade, the Cultural Exchange Program, the New Residents Meet and Greet Dinner, events that bring people together and strengthen community pride. They also facilitated the addition of 20 new public art installations across our city, murals, sculptures, and more, adding beauty, identity, and shared experiences to our public spaces. You see this all over the city. At the center of all this success is Director Melanie Davis. Melanie has built a high-performing team that is not only skilled in every facet of community relations, but also deeply passionate about the great work that they do. Just as important, they also admire and respect Melanie's leadership. Recently, the entire team shared this about Melanie, and I think it says everything. Melanie leads with clarity, compassion, and a deep commitment to inclusivity. She's made it her mission to ensure that every voice in our community is heard and that their stories, concerns, and aspirations are reflected in the work that the department does. She sees people and she makes people feel seen. That kind of leadership matters, and it shows in the work, in the culture, and in the results of the department. So on behalf of all city departments, on behalf of the mayor and the city council as well, I want to sincerely thank every member of the Community Relations Department, including Brian Figursky, Sierra Frazier, Marissa Russo, Kimmy Sugiyama, Abby Jenkins, Casey Wolf, Don Bonderick, Bob Surgat, Dan Rizik, Robert Yexley, Diane Rogowski, and of course, Director Melanie Davis. You are truly among the best in the business. Your work strengthens trust, and our government builds pride and a better place for everyone in this great city. So it's my honor to present the Department of the Year to the Community Relations Department. Congratulations, and thank you for all that you do. It wasn't on sale, but it was discounted.
What are you guys doing?
I'm going to say just a few words. Actually, can we get the team? I want the team to come up behind me, because this is a department award, so come on up. Thank you, Mark, for those words. That really means a lot, I know, to all of us. And I think the first thing I think we would all like to say is probably thank you to our families, because when you work in community relations, it really is a labor of love. But there are an awful lot of events and meetings that take place in the evenings and the weekends and on the holidays. So I think we'd be remiss if we didn't thank them. Also, just to thank our city leadership for the support that we get. You know, there are so many things. I think I sound like a broken record when I've said over and over again that I love this job. It is like a dream job to me. But why that's the case is, you know, there are just a few things that I wanted to highlight. And the first is that we have a lot of different departments with a lot of different disciplines, but we have a singular vision for our community, and it starts with you all. It starts at the top. And that singular vision has aligned values. We've heard it mentioned a couple of times by a couple of different award recipients and Mark himself, and some of the nominations, but we really do have aligned values in terms of making sure that that we embrace every resident of our city, that we are a welcoming city, and that we believe that all human beings have inherent worth and value. And now more than ever, I cannot stress enough, words do not convey how important that is to me personally, but also to our entire team. It helps us do our job, and it helps us make sure that every resident here has the opportunity to be heard and to be engaged. And so I wanted to highlight that. Also because, and again, this starts at the top, but we are an innovative city, and innovative living or innovating living isn't just a mission. It's really part of our DNA here. It's something that, you know, flows throughout every department. And, you know, I feel like we set the bar really high, but we also, that helps us as employees strive to reach higher. And I think that, you know, every time that I have done that with my team members here behind me, they have never, ever failed. They've never disappointed me. They've always met my expectations and exceeded my expectations. And for that, I am profoundly grateful. I think I have a wonderful team here. And lastly, what makes me literally want to get up and come into work every morning are all the people you see behind me. My team, they are incredible. I've never had the privilege, and it is truly a privilege, to work with people that are so talented, that are so creative, that are so dedicated. You know, we work really hard, but we also have a lot of fun. And I'd like to think that we put out a really great product and that we help our residents feel like they have made an excellent choice in moving here to Sterling Heights. So I wanted to say thank you to all of you for putting your faith in me to lead this team. And for everybody, thank you to all of the department directors, all the staff here for putting your faith in our department to help you achieve your goals and objectives every year. Thank you so much. Can we all fit over there? Can we all fit over there, or do you want us to have them stand over here? Brian, you tell me what's better, over there?
Everything down.
Just over here, it's just a big group. Okay, let's go.
She's still working.
Oh, come on, nobody else can take the picture?
Here, I can take the picture.
Yeah, Maria can take the picture.
Should we get out of the way, Mayor?
Maria's taking your picture,
No,
Brian.
I'm gonna stand up.
He's lining it up for you. Just push the button.
So you're sneaking in, Mike. You're sneaking in.
Absolutely. Oh, the wings.
Okay, let's give a big round of applause to all the recipients of both the departmental awards and congratulations to all, and Melanie is going to provide some closing comments.
Thank you, Kate. Since I'm up here, I'm just going to stay up here. But we wanted to say as we bring our recognition ceremony to a close, we offer our heartfelt thanks to Mayor Taylor, members of City Council, Mr. Vanderpool, and Mr. Kaszubski for joining us this evening, and for their continued support of our incredible employees. Each honoree recognized tonight is truly deserving and represents the very best of our organization, embodying our mission to make Sterling Heights an inclusive, vibrant community that is safe, active, and sustainable. I'd also like to extend a special thank you to my colleagues in Community Relations and Human Resources for their outstanding work behind the scenes and for their dedication to making this celebration possible each year in honor of our many devoted public servants. Congratulations once again to all of our award recipients. We are proud to celebrate you. And at this time, we'd like to request a brief recess to invite Mayor Taylor and members of City Council to join us in the lobby for a group photo with all of tonight's honorees.
Well, thank you very much, Ms. Davis. But before we do that, we do have a suggested action tonight. Council, is there anyone who would like to make that motion?
Mayor Taylor.
Mrs. Sarowski.
Thank you, Mayor. Resolved to congratulate and thank all of the employees awarded for their outstanding performance in 2025.
Support. It's been moved and supported. Any discussion, Mrs.
Very
Sarowski?
briefly, there's so many of you and so many great accomplishments. We have what you guys just are a wonderful example of everyone that we have in the city and how hard you all work and how proud we are to make sure that we have a good product to give our residents. You guys are such a part of that. I'm very proud to say thank you and to say I know you. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Mrs. Schmidt.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. I also would like to congratulate every one of you. I often say up here that we are a family around here. As dysfunctional as we are sometimes, we are a family and we're a team, and we couldn't accomplish what we have in this city without every single employee working together with the council, with the residents of our city. We are all a team. So thank you and congratulations. This is truly one of my favorite meetings of the year. So good job.
Thank you, Mrs. Schmidt. Mr. Radke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to echo my colleagues' comments. You know, we are a city of services, and I think by the awards today, you can see how much we provide to our residents. From the library, to the fire and police departments, to DPW, all the great performances and the things that we do, it's all about the residents. And I think that I'm so proud to both congratulate you on these awards and to see how much we do as a city, because other places can't do it like we do it. We are a city that really relies on you to perform the best for all of our residents. So thank you so much. I'm so proud of all the work that you do. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Radke. Mrs. Zarko.
Thank you. First of all, I want to congratulate all the awardees, but I want to say back to you what I heard, whether it be from the presenter or to the recipient. It was about teamwork, gratitude, loyalty, friendship, fun, caring for community, service, above and beyond. Every department brings a different skill set, and you excel in whatever that skill set is. So thank you very much for serving the residents of this community, because you all make us look good. So thank you again, and congratulations.
Mr. Yanis.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I too want to congratulate all the award winners, the recipients. You know, obviously, I take a lot of pride being a former employee here. I know how hard you all work. I know what your days are like. I know just how dedicated and smart. I mean, there's a lot of smart people in this room. And the fact, I mean, just the guy who fixed my fire truck, right? Or the guy who plows the snow, or the woman who answers my questions. And I apologize, whoever answers the phone in community relations, because I always go straight to zero. And give me Miss Varney, please. No, I'm actually nicer than that, but I know how dedicated you are as employees, and that's what makes this city really great. And I take a lot of pride in how hard you all work, and especially tonight. And again, congratulations to all the recipients of these awards. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Yanis. Mr. Mike.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Congratulations to everybody, all the departments and all the individual winners. I've been here just for a few months now, so I can tell all of you that just personally, where I'm coming from is I feel very welcomed, very humbled to be here, and I guess I consider myself a part of the team as well. Everybody in each of the departments and employees that I've met have been very helpful, friendly, and very welcoming, and I thank you very much for that. I'm going through a learning curve. I'm trying to remember everyone's name. I'm doing the best I can with that because I forget people's names a lot, so I apologize for that. But yeah, I worked in county government for 24 years, and just for the first couple months of being here in council, it feels similar to county government, but also different in another way as well. But yes, I would think of welcoming and very friendly here, and everybody seems to be all on the same page to move city government forward. So thank all of you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very, very much, Mr. Majek. I'm not good at names either, so I have to really work on it. And so I tried to, and I want to see if I got them all. I know we had Diane, Lucas, Katie, Dale, Derek, Alex, Matt. We had Andre, Chad, Joshua, Jossie in the hospital. Our thoughts are with you. Liz and Nora, Mark and Marnie, Annalise, and the Community Relations Department. I think I got you all, and I hope if I missed anybody, I apologize, but.
Kevin.
Oh, Kevin, chief, the chief.
Yeah, but we
Oh,
weren't sure. His plaque fell out, so we weren't sure.
He's a Cleveland fan.
yeah. Coming from a Chicago fan, I wouldn't take that, chief. My apologies, chief. You know, I too, I've said this before, and I don't know how to articulate it well, but you know, I know as the mayor, it's kind of like the top of the organization, but I do feel like, you know, I'm not here on a day-to-day basis. I'm not. I rely on my council colleagues to carry a lot of the load. We rely heavily as a council on department heads, supervisors to provide the information that gets to us. And we interface a lot with employees, but really it's sort of like, you know, it's in the summer, we might see the Parks and Rec a lot. If we go to the library, we see the library employees a lot. I don't get to see you on a day-to-day basis, but what I can tell you is that I feel as if I am perhaps the luckiest politician in the world. I have what I believe is the best political job possible, and that's to be the mayor of the city where you live. I live in a safe city. I live in a vibrant city. I live in a city where there's a lot of trust from our residents in their city government, and where they feel like the people who work at City Hall and in the Parks and Rec and for the police and fire departments and the people who work in the DPW and across every department have their backs. They look out for them, and one of the things we get high marks on is value for our tax dollars. So that's completely and directly related to the work that each and every one of you do every single day. You make your supervisors look good. The supervisors make the directors look good. The directors make Mark look good, and Mark makes us look good. And I can't tell you how meaningful it is to be a part of this city because of all of you guys in the room and your colleagues. And to the family members who came out to support today, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing them with us. I do want to call out Katie, okay? Because Katie, I think, Melanie, you were talking about Katie. She's talked about how public service is a calling, it's so important, and that what you do serving all the residents, regardless of what they look like, whether they have an accent or not, whether they have a different color skin or religion or background. We are all here in a very diverse city, all pulling for the betterment of every single human being, and that's what it's about. And I just can't thank you guys enough for what you do to make this such a great city. So, council, with no further discussion, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, everyone. So it's 8:48. We'll probably take 15 minutes. I'll say we'll be back a little before 9:05, but we'll stand in recess until around 9:05.
This is great. Yeah, good speech, Mike.
All right, thank you, everyone. Thank you again to all the employees who were recognized. Calling this meeting back to order. We will move on to the next item on our agenda tonight, which is the consent agenda with the omission of item 6, or I'm sorry, with item F, I believe.
Yep.
Is there anyone who'd like to speak on any item on the consent agenda except for F? Mr. Smith?
Yeah, Paul Smith, Sterling Heights. Sorry, I missed part of the awards. I didn't catch who the taxpayer of the year was. Was there a taxpayer of the year? It seems like this one was left out. Anyway, item H caught my attention. The diversion of a purchase order from last August from Ford F-100 electric police trucks to a Chevrolet Silverado electric police trucks. And it looks like it's $103,568, and it only cost you $1,008 to step up from a Ford to a Chevrolet, which is cheap. I'd pay a lot more than that to move from a Ford to a Chevy. I'm a GM man myself, and so is my dad. But my late grandfather was a Henry Ford man back in the days of Henry and Etzel, so I like both companies. General Motors makes much better cars and trucks, but Ford has very good management, and they've got very smart management. 20 years ago, when the banks collapsed, GM and Chrysler kept building cars and putting them in the backyard when people couldn't get a loan. But Ford saw it coming, and they lightened the ship, and they survived the bankruptcy. Well, likewise, Ford has forecast the end of the electric car fad, and Ford got out of the electric vehicle business. And Sterling Heights Purchasing, who was ever in this, they issued this purchase order, and they hadn't checked if you could get the Ford trucks. Well, the electric fad, the global warming, save the planet stuff is over. You know, you're not going to get brownie points and merit badges for buying electric trucks. And you're going to get these Chevys, which they say you're doing GM a favor. You're taking 2 trucks off of our hands that nobody wants. But Ford is smart. They're proactive, and they know that electric is over. They got out of this. So as far as I see, you issued a purchase order that can't be fulfilled, and it should be canceled. And let's start over and buy the best 2 trucks the police can get, gas or electric, from any manufacturer. This business of just doing a shuffle from Ford to GM is really not right. You could have just kept the purchase order with Ford and bought 2 Ford gas trucks. Now this, coincidentally, this is the first anniversary of the presidency of Donald Trump. He's got 3 more years to go, and this global warming, waste money on electric junk that doesn't work, you don't need that anymore. That regime was voted out. So let's take a look at this. That's how we casually shifted a purchase order from Ford to Chevy to get electrics. Now, Ford was right. Electric's dead, and you got to wake up and realize that. Thank you very much. Oh, the other thing is there's a mention of grant money in this. Well, how much grant money is this? 100%, 1%, 5%? It just in the write-up it says grant money. It doesn't say how much. So I guess if it's 100% grant money, it's play money, and it doesn't really matter. It's $103,000, and it's funny money. So let's hear an answer on that. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Smith. Anyone else on the consent agenda? If not, council, we need a motion.
Mayor Taylor,
Mrs. Zarko.
move to approve the consent agenda as amended.
Support.
Been moved and supported with no discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is a consideration item. This was item F from the consent agenda. This is to purchase hardware, software, and administrative services associated with the establishment of a drone as a first responder program with a first-year cost of $149,264, 100% offset by federal forfeiture funds. We did have a presentation on this already. Deputy Chief Pappas, anything you'd like to add at this time, or just be available for questions? Okay, thank you. Mr. Radke, you pulled this item. Do you want the floor, or do you want me to give it to somebody else?
Someone can make the motion, and then I'll.
Council, is there a motion?
Mayor Taylor,
Mrs. Zarko.
resolve to accept a proposal from Axon Enterprise Incorporated, 17800 North 85th Street, Scottsdale, Arizona, 85255, for the purchase, installation, and continued maintenance of a drone as a first responder, DFR, program, inclusive of applicable hardware, software, and maintenance for a total of $678,822.40, spread over a 5-year period, utilizing pricing available through Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Contract Number 101223-AXN, and authorize the city manager to sign the quote on behalf of the city. And, can I do both of them? Okay, and accept a quote from LaBelle Electric Contractors, LLC, 241 Church Street, Mount Clemens, Michigan, 48043, for electrical infrastructure installation services related to the DFR docking stations at a total cost of $13,500.
Support.
It's been moved and supported. You ever notice that these motions on the consent agenda are 10 times longer than the other ones?
Yes. Yes, I do notice. And I notice.
Well, I'm saying I appreciate that you guys consolidate the ones that we generally have to read.
Yes.
Mrs. Zarko.
I'm going to defer to Mr. Radke because I think the presentation explained itself. I don't have any questions right now, but I might ask for a, go round.
Okay. Mr. Radke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The reason I pulled this from the consent agenda, and some of my questions have been answered by the presentation, but in the past, I've asked for a general order to be established to protect the residents' privacy with the drones. There was nothing in our packet quoting that, and there was nothing we weren't shown that. So while I have your word from the presentation earlier, I guess through the chair to the chief or the deputy chief, are we going to be promulgating a general order on the privacy use of the drone?
I actually drafted it.
Deputy chief, if you don't mind coming up.
I drafted it last week. I do have one. I sent it to the chief. He sent back with a couple comments, so I just have a couple minor changes to make to it, and then it'll be ready as 9 a.m. tomorrow.
Well, I guess that's what I was looking for. So if we can get that so we can see it and have it approved before this drone purchase is made, I have no problems. I'm happy to vote for it today, knowing that that's going to take place. My biggest concern after reading some articles about how this DFRs have been deployed elsewhere was in Maryland, they had some issues with this, and they went to this, we won't be recording while we're flying, we will not have our camera pointing down, because I really do think about the residents who are going to be near these stations. If your house is being overflown every day, and if you're deploying them at the speed that other communities are doing, there are going to be quite a few flights. I would hate for those residents to feel like the city is spying on them, or is using these drones as a way to get after them. Because at the end of the day, I view this, I can't speak for all my colleagues, I view this as a tool, a first responder tool to really help us set the table for what our officers will be encountering on the scene, and hopefully clearing some of the backlog of calls so that we don't have to deploy an officer. What I don't want this to be is an all-encompassing surveillance device. I don't have to go into that. I know my colleagues know my views on all-encompassing surveillance, because that is my greatest fear, that we start this for one thing and it becomes something totally different. So with that general order in place, protecting the privacy of the residents, and I think I'm okay with this. I just wish I would have had it before tonight's meeting. That's why I pulled it.
I apologize. I didn't know you, Sergeant Karen worked on it with me 2 weeks ago, but, like I said, this is way more than just a police tool. This is going to benefit the city in so many ways, especially with the way the storms hit us, and then we can get them out there afterwards to assess damage, where we need officers, down lines, where we need to deploy the CERT team. It's way more than just a police tool.
Excellent. I guess I have no trouble supporting this, and thank Mrs. Zarko for reading that very long motion. But that was my greatest concern. I wanted to make sure that we had a privacy protection general order in place before we deploy this technology, because with all new technology, sometimes I feel like the technology jumps out ahead of the protections for the residents for it. And I'm glad that we are being proactive both on the technology front and the privacy front. And I think that's what our residents are counting on. I guess there's some folks from Skydio here.
Yes.
Do you have anything, would you like the company to add anything to what I'm talking about? Sure, I didn't get your name, I'm sorry, sir.
My name is Alex.
Alex, come on up.
How are we doing, everyone? My name is Alex Lohman. I'm with Skydio, one of their solution engineers. As far as our Skydio technology goes, we are not pointing the camera anywhere other than the horizon as we're approaching to any scene. Through our technology, we do have the ability to create augmented reality waypoints that as the drone approaches to the scene, it will then change the camera pitch to affix onto that location. As mentioned earlier, we do provide a transparency dashboard that after every flight, pending review of the officers, that it can be published out for the public to see. Any ongoing investigations, obviously, will have their own contingencies, but once everything has been put out there, it will be publicly available for everybody to see what's going on there. As far as the recordings go, those are being recorded once on scene. And as far as all of our data security, when the drone does take off, it is encrypting all of that data until it does land back in that dock. If the drone was to happen to go down or something like that, or somebody, nefariously shot at it or something, that data would be secured until an officer could either get to it or decrypt it to acquire that. So all of that data, all of that video is highly secure. The officers, the department does own all of that data. We do not hold on to any of that data. So once it is transferred to evidence.com, it is deleted off of our platform, and it is solely owned by the city and the department to do what they need to with it.
That's very helpful. I thank you. I have two follow-on questions, but I think they're through to Deputy Chief Pappas. Thank you for coming up, and that was very informative.
No problem.
Two, one is, I assume that this data, like our body cam data, will eventually be foilable by residents if the call
Yeah,
is
it
made?
was, like any other evidence,
Yeah,
like any
yeah.
other thing, yes.
With redactions as allowed by
Yes.
law. And I guess, what is our current data retention policy for video that is not marked as needed for a call?
So it was 30 days, but it was bumped up to 60 days because we had people coming in after the fact requesting things by the time it made it through the court system. So if there's no criminal element to anything, it's 60 days and then it's gone. If it's a life felony, well, it's 110 years.
Yeah, I got you. We're going to hold that till the cows come home. I understand that. Okay, that's all I have. You've answered my questions. I feel comfortable voting for this. I yield the floor to the mayor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Radke. Council, anyone else? Mrs. Schmidt?
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. I just have a couple of questions. Through the chair to Deputy Chief Pappas. So when you were explaining earlier, what triggers this drone? Is it dispatch that triggers it?
No, we're going to have an officer like we have an officer working the front desk.
Right.
They will man the drone. They will dispatch the drone to certain calls that we feel it would be beneficial to have the drone go to that meet the criteria.
Okay, because I wasn't expecting Officer Carrion to work 24/7.
No.
There's some money in that.
I think there might be a grievance there.
Yes.
But, so we are going to have trained officers that will be at the desk specifically for this reason?
Yes, you actually have to have your Part 107 license. It's from what I hear, it's a tough test to pass. It's a pilot's license test.
Oh.
Mr. Vanderpool probably has that.
Yeah, he might.
So, but yes, everyone is specially trained and certified. No one can just arbitrarily work if you're walking by and you want to jump on and do it, you couldn't do it.
Okay, perfect. And I have to say, this is a great tool for all three of our first responder departments, DPW, police, and fire. And I see no downside to this at all. I'm very comfortable with all of the explanations behind it. And I think it's an exciting way to move our city forward. So, thank you.
Definitely.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Schmidt. Mrs. Sarowski?
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. Through the chair to the Deputy Chief, thank you. I have a question, and you just said it and then didn't quite finish your sentence. So an officer is actually working the drone. Is that, so they're actually,
Yes.
so they're the ones flying it, it's not, it goes to the location, and then the
Yes.
officer directs it from there, or does the officer
Yes,
fly it
if
to
they
the
want to maneuver it
location?
around, but someone has to be manning the drone. We have waivers so that we don't have to have line of sight, but we still have to have someone manning the drone.
Okay, so, so even though they program in the address, per
Yes.
se, they're still flying it there?
It's flying on its own, but once it gets there, then we're maneuvering it around and we're telling it to come back or what to do.
Got it. Okay, very good. Can you share some of the criteria that would be actually, I mean, I think you did a little bit, but is there specific criteria? They're going through down at bullet points and saying, we hit these bullet points, we're going to send the drone. How does
Well,
that
an
work?
example would be a missing child, a walkway with dementia, or the river. You know, we get calls, last summer, we had 2 calls. Trying to find somebody on the river is tough. Now this drone's just gonna shoot over there, shoot up the river, it's gonna pinpoint the exact location, we're gonna be able to get on the air and say exactly where they're at, what's going on, what it can do. You know, there are other drones that, in desolate areas where they drop off med kits to people with their drones when they're injured somewhere out hiking or something like that. You know, the technology is endless with these drones.
Okay, sounds good. I too do not have a problem with this. I didn't even in the beginning. I don't, because I have faith. I don't have blind faith, but I do have faith that things will, that, you know, because of our laws, we will get some type of ordinance or plan together before, policy together before it's actually implemented. So I appreciate all of your hard work, both of you, and the team too, who's owning this. Thank you, because I think, you know, military/police family, I really appreciate all the tools that we can use in the toolbox, so thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mrs. Zarowski. Mr. Yanis.
Well, thank you. Chief, just one clarification. It was stated that at the termination of a run, the drone stops recording?
Yes, sir.
What triggers the stoppage of the recording?
The officer.
The
It'll
officer
say
itself,
return.
okay.
It tells it to return, it stops recording, and it comes back.
So we use augmented reality to turn the camera on, but we need the officer to turn the camera off. Is that correct? I can't hear it. You gotta, because we're being recorded, which we keep for 60 days
In perpetuity.
in perpetuity, yeah.
So the augmented reality allows the officer to have better situational awareness as they approach a scene. At that point, they can engage the recording, and at that point, they can go ahead and proceed with their mission at that point. It can be set up to be automatically recorded upon takeoff where it's pointed at the horizon and doesn't pick up anything until it gets on scene, and then the pitch of the camera will go down automatically. That's really upon the department's protocols and how they want to run that. So we would set that up to be non-recording, and then they would hit the record once they do get on site there.
Okay. And the data that's recorded, that's cloud storage?
So at the moment, it passes through our cloud and into Axon's evidentiary platform, evidence.com. At that point, it is 100% on yours, and we have no ownership. We don't have any of that data ourselves.
Okay, that's all I need. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yanis. Mrs. Zarko.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. I knew I'd have a couple of questions. Through the chair, whoever wants to answer the question, is how long does the charge last on the drone? And is it specifically logoed so that you know that it belongs to the Sterling Heights Police Department?
Yeah, so every aircraft will be registered with the FAA, so that isn't just like a license plate. That is unique to the department and to that aircraft itself. So they will be able to identify them as police. Now, the drones themselves will also have red and blue lights on them, so you will be able to notice that they are a police drone. No other drones really have that. Yeah, on ours, you can turn it on. You can turn it to amber for like road emergencies. You can turn it to navigation lights. So there are different ways to do that. Additionally, we do have speaker attachments where you can have sirens, you can have repeated messages. It can, you know, hey, this is Sterling Heights PD. So there are ways to broadcast that it is a police drone in the air if needed. If it was to go down, yeah, you would be able to identify it through the serial number and the FAA registration.
Okay, and how long does the charge last on the drone?
Yeah, so our drones typically about 40 minutes of flight. The way that this works is about 1 minute of charge to 1 minute of flight time. We did just update all of our hardware where it's a 25% faster charge rate in the docking station itself. So as you guys are running multiple docks, whether that's one location or around the city, you are able to have other drones take off and replace that drone on scene. Additionally, we did just do a big software release that allows us to now change batteries in the field. So if you do have a long standoff, if you do have a scene where you need to be there for much longer, you can very easily land on scene, pop a new battery in, and remain there on scene as long as you need to. So there are ways to extend the time on scene. Additionally, as you move towards a Hive model, that does provide you that 24/7 coverage within that 2.5, 3 mile radius that we've determined based on calls for service.
Thank you. You've answered my question.
You're welcome.
Mr. Majek.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Through the chair, I guess to Ken, so we're gonna have one full-time officer control 3 drones from 3 different positions. A drone on the police station, a drone at Fire Station 3, and a drone at Fire Station 4, is that right?
Yeah, 1 officer, 3 drones.
1 officer, 3 drones.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How many times do you think we could utilize this technology per year? You said this would have been helpful if we had this technology last year.
Oh, a number.
Any idea how many times we'd be using this per week or per month or?
Well, I gave the comparison city, and in 11 weeks, they were a similar sized city. They did 500 flights.
500 flights, so that's like more than once per day.
Yes.
That's quite a bit.
Yes. Roughly 6.5 times a day.
Okay, so that's a lot of use for these drones, so, and I'm thinking out loud here that, specifically the 2 fire stations, number 3 and 4, if we're gonna have a lot of drones coming in and out of that area, you're probably gonna have residents who live there who may have questions or concerns, what is this? So that would be something maybe,
Well,
through the.
it does shoot up to 200 feet, so
Okay.
it's not like, I mean, yes, they might notice it, but they shouldn't hear it or note, it shouldn't be that.
Well, we should maybe just be prepared, our community relations, if we have, to get the word out to the public that.
Yeah, I believe if this passes, we do have a press release, and we're gonna do some public social media on it and things of that nature to let everyone know.
One final question, Mr. Mayor, through the chair. You said for Department of Public Works use, so, I'm thinking out loud here again. So we have a rainstorm like we had in July, big rainstorm, a lot of rain in a short period of time. We have areas in the city that have a lot of water on the streets. It takes time for that to dissipate. How would, drones be used for something like this to assist DPW with, say, a big rainstorm, let's say?
So we had that big storm that came through. I was driving down towards Hayes, and the whole area was knocked down. We didn't know to what extent, but I'm just looking from ground level. If we'd had the drone up in the air, we could have told DPW what yards had trees falling on, what roads were blocked. I had to get out of my car and drag a tree off the roadway, and no one had even called it in yet. But with the drone, it would have been there in seconds. We'd know everywhere to send an officer, where there's down power lines, and that's another big thing, the down power lines. They're hard to see if people aren't home. This is gonna drive over that area and see all the down power lines, and then we can get certain everyone to where we need them to be.
Thank you very much for coming here. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Majek. I'm satisfied as well. So council, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your work on that and presentations. All right, we'll move on to communications from citizens. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on any item not on tonight's agenda? Yes, ma'am?
Hello, good evening. Thank you to the elected officials as well as the city management and leaders for allowing us to speak. My name is Lauren Letzman. I'm the Project Box Coordinator for Macomb County through CARE Southeastern Michigan. A large component of Project Box is providing community education on substance use disorder, prevention, treatment, and recovery, as well as substance use related community concerns. This is my colleague, Elizabeth Capolo. She'll be sharing a bit about our early findings from some environmental scans related to kratom and a concentrated synthetic form of kratom known as 7-OH. We briefly just want to explain why this issue is relevant to local policy and community health. Our intention as a substance use disorder prevention provider is to ensure that youth don't have access to potentially harmful substances. Kratom comes from an evergreen tree in the coffee family. In small doses, it acts as a stimulant. In large doses, it actually acts on the same receptors as opioids do, and it has a sedative and analgesic effect. Of particular concern is the concentrated compound that's approximately 13 times more potent than morphine, and far more potent than it is naturally occurring in kratom. And that's known casually, again, as the 7-OH. Despite that, it's being marketed and labeled as simply kratom. Currently, there are no age restrictions, packaging and labeling requirements, such as potency, dosing, any safety warnings, and there are no marketing restrictions or purity or potency testing requirements.
Good evening, Mayor Taylor, Mr. Vanderpool, Mr. Koszubski, and members of City Council. As Lauren mentioned, my name is Elizabeth Capolo. I'm the project coordinator, thank you, for the Sterling Heights Drug-Free Coalition. Over the last few weeks, I have been conducting environmental scans. Environmental scans are a substance use prevention tool that are used to assess how accessible and visible substances are within a community. Over the course of these scans, I visited 71 retailers in Sterling Heights. Of those, 21 retailers were selling kratom, so this works out to be about 30% of retailers that were visited. What stood out was the lack of safeguards, and this raises concerns. None of the retailers had labels or signage providing information about potency, dosage, or potential health risks of kratom. In 20 out of the 21 locations, kratom products were clearly visible and easily accessible, often displayed in ways that would be noticeable to youth and young adults, so things like bright colors, interesting names, in packaging that looked like candy or sweets. At some locations, kratom was also found in cases next to Labubu toys. And in case you don't know, Labubus are a really popular kids' toy right now. These findings suggest that kratom is available in the community, it's unregulated and marketed with young people in mind.
It's currently banned and or has restrictions on people under 21 in 10 different states. Multiple municipalities have also put bans or age restrictions, including Denver, Colorado, which has a lot of things legal, but they have so much restrictions on this because it's a weird effects. It's got side effects we haven't studied. And low dose, it's a stimulant. High dose, it's a sedative. What does that? That's really weird and not enough research. So Denver, Colorado, which is decriminalizing everything, they've put bans on this.
And last Monday, Clinton Township voted on an ordinance to prohibit the sale of kratom to those under 21 and also require signage noting that age restriction. There are a few other municipalities in Macomb County that are looking to follow similar suit that we've also done kratom environmental scans for. And there is some state legislation that is sitting in the House. If you want more information on that, I can talk about that.
In light of these findings, I want to share that if interested, we're available to provide a presentation to City Council, a more formal presentation, or we can walk through this data that was collected during the local environmental scans, offer additional context, and contribute to an informed discussion around potential policy options for the city. Thank you for your time, your service, and your commitment to the health and safety of Sterling Heights. Thank you.
Thank you very much, appreciate it. Is there anyone else who'd like to speak under communications from citizens? Mr. Smith? Speaking of Denver, go Broncos.
Matt Stafford, Rams.
Bob's a big Broncos guy.
Well, when I was out of town, I watched your last few meetings with some amusement, this lengthy discussion of Bitcoin. And it seemed like it was primarily focused on the stupidity and ignorance of senior citizens like myself that are easily cheated out of money. Seems like somebody that would fall for that could be of any age. You know, I certainly wouldn't touch Bitcoin myself. It seems like something that's magic. You convert American green into crypto and somehow you've multiplied your investment. Sounds very much like the schemes of James Ponzi and Bernie Madoff, in which his early investors bragged about huge profits and the later investors couldn't get their money back. I guess listening to this, it seemed like the city council's patting itself on the back about what a great thing they've done by somewhat minimizing the amount of money people can lose on this, assuming that there's any enforceability to the thing at all. I sort of thought that the federal government would have themselves stepped in and banned people from creating their own money systems, which seem like the only benefit to it is tax avoidance and some way to deposit illegal income without going through the banking system. You know, I'm one of these dumb old senior citizens myself, and I have a certain amount of income, but my income comes in transfers to my bank or my stockbroker, and once in a while I have to go in to get a few bucks to put in my pocket for petty spending, and somehow these dumb senior citizens have $5,000 or $10,000 or $20,000 a month in cash income coming to them. It just baffles me how people would have all this cash income and be perfectly legal about it. So I guess, yeah, you've done me a favor. I won't be putting any money into Bitcoin. And in fact, I don't have any money to put into Bitcoin. But for us that have been protected by being swindled by Bitcoin, you guys are still dumping $50, $100 million into this lakeside hoax to some outfit down in Miami that you know nothing about, that this lakeside thing is in the same category as James Ponzi and Bernie Madoff, that you think magic's going to come. Anyway, I took some interest in Lakeside on Facebook and followed it on Facebook, and I got tagged for Abandoned Malls of America. And these things are everywhere. There's cities that are bigger with 10 times, 100 times as much money as Sterling Heights, that they've got abandoned malls, and they can't do anything about it either. So I know all this talk about saving the people from Bitcoin, you guys need to save yourself from out of the box and Lakeside, because you're dump. You know, maybe you'd be better off putting the money in Bitcoin than Lakeside. So you know, just wake up and think about that. This is our money that you're putting in, and I don't think you're going to see any of it back. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Smith. Anyone else under communications from citizens? If not, close that portion, go on to reports from city administration. Anything tonight, Mr. Vanderpool?
Nothing further, Mayor.
Mr. Kashubski?
Yes, Mayor, we have 2 matters for closed session.
Okay, council, any new business reports? Mrs. Sarowski.
Thank you, Mayor Taylor. So I really appreciate the ladies from Care Michigan and regarding our substance use disorder concerns. I actually had reached out to Mr. Kashubski last week about this, so coincidentally, you're here. But I have experience, I know some people who have had issues with kratom. I didn't even know what it was until probably about 2 years ago. And it is a very, very serious concern. It is an opioid with absolutely zero regulation. I know right now the state is looking at doing a 21 and over with regulations, approval and use and licensing people who sell it. But in my opinion, I think that this is something, we might as well have opioids on the street. It is absolutely as addictive, as detrimental, as life-threatening. And I would ask that if we could, without council's objection, that we could have the presentation come back to us, especially with how to, some policy suggestions, and then we can determine if that's some area that we would go down.
Counsel, any objection? Mrs. Zarko?
No objection, but can we add on to that? We like to see the samples of the ordinance that have been passed in other
Absolutely.
communities.
Absolutely, because that's, I think, within their policy suggestion.
Okay.
Opportunities. So absolutely, I think that would, I know that this is something that's out there. It is within our purview to make some good dents and provisions to prevent it from being sold, at least in Sterling Heights. And as I said, if we save one life, it's a life saved, and that's more, it's a win. So, thank you all, and that's all I have for that at the moment. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Sarowski. Anyone else? Going once, going twice? Okay. All right, I'm going to take up all of the time that you guys might have. I'm going to talk about something that occurred recently that's got me distressed, very deeply disturbed, and downright depressed, if I'm being absolutely honest. So I think it was on January 9th, Saturday, January 9th, there was a traffic incident in the city of Sterling Heights where a police officer made a routine traffic stop of a vehicle that was traveling through the city. The traffic stop was legitimate. There was there's no problem with that. The traffic stop was legitimate. There was violation of traffic ordinance. The police officer made the stop. Police officer asked the driver for his driver's license and registration and whatever else. And the driver was unable to produce a valid driver's license. So at that point, he was able to produce a foreign identification, was not able to produce a valid Michigan identification. Our officers took the identification, ran it through our internal systems, whatever we would normally do, and did not return anything. So in accordance with city policy for the past 30-plus years, the police officer contacted Border Patrol and gave the name of the individual who was driving, and it turned out that there was apparently a felony warrant from Border Patrol for, I guess it was felony reentry, which I understand means that this driver was deported previously. He came back into the country without authorization, and there was a felony warrant for his arrest, which I have no problem with. Of course, you know that this happens regularly where other departments throughout the state or even the country. In fact, there was one just recently where that guy that we got at Walmart had a warrant out of Tennessee, I believe, right? So the warrant, we would expect that if another department apprehended an individual for which we've issued a warrant, that they would hold him or her, and that's what we did. I have no issue with that. That was by the book, and that's how it should be. My concern is that there were 3 other passengers in that vehicle who were not suspected of doing anything wrong. They, of course, did not violate any traffic ordinances. However, the officer asked them to provide their identification, and they did provide their identification. Now, unfortunately for them, they did not realize, probably they did not realize, that the officer's request was just that, a request. Now, when the driver gets pulled over, the driver is ordered to provide identification. However, the passengers in the vehicle are not required to provide their identification. They are protected under the 4th Amendment to the United States Constitution, and the officers did not suspect them of doing anything wrong. They had no probable cause. They had no reasonable suspicion. So what our officers are apparently doing is and it's not clear to me, and I'll tell you, I've talked with our chief and our deputy chief and our assistant city manager and our city manager and our city attorney, and the entire council has as well. It's not entirely clear to me in what circumstance is the officer trained, instructed, encouraged, or otherwise has the discretion to ask somebody to voluntarily hand over their identification versus commanding them to hand over their identification. I know the difference between when it has to be a request and when it can be an order. That's constitutional. But how our officers use their discretion to request an ID voluntarily is not clear in my mind. However, in this case, the officer asked for identification, and the 3 other passengers in the vehicle handed over their identification. I want to be clear. Had those 3 passengers said, no, we will not hand over our identification, Based on the United States Constitution, that's where it ends. Now, my concern is, and I've talked with, again, these individuals, the police leadership, my concern is that I bet that when the officer asks for identification voluntarily and it's not handed over immediately, my guess is that for most of those interactions, the officer doesn't say, okay, well, that's it, we're done here. You don't have to give me your ID, right? My guess is the officer will probably repeatedly ask. I can imagine a situation where the officer would say something like, are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to say no? And this is a situation where somebody's being arrested and the other passengers probably reasonably believe that they're under a requirement, an order from the police officer to give them their identification. But the reality is that they're not. So I asked our police leadership, why do we do that? Why do we ask people to hand over their ID when they've not committed a crime, they're not suspected of having committed a crime, and there's no reasonable suspicion that they've done anything for which we need to identify them? And the response is that that's proactive policing. It's good policing techniques, that you can catch the bad guys by, these are my words, by tricking them into thinking that they have to give you their ID, which they're almost always going to do. I asked, what's the compliance rate on these voluntary requests? And I was told it was essentially 100%. So I also asked, well, what if we told them beforehand, I'm going to ask you for your ID, but you're not required to give it to me. You have a Fourth Amendment constitutional right to deny me your identification. And if you deny it, I can't arrest you, I can't prolong the stop, I can't detain you, and it can't be the basis for anything to happen to you. What if we gave them that warning, that they have constitutional rights, and we're asking you to voluntarily relinquish your constitutional rights so that we can do the police work of checking to see if you're a criminal? And the response is, of course, from the police department, no, we're not going to do that. We don't think that that's a good idea because it's going to leave people within our grasp, criminals in our grasp, they're going to get away. And so that's essentially the response. The reason I bring this up is because those 3 passengers in that vehicle were asked for identification. They provided identification. Our officer gave their names to Border Patrol. Border Patrol said, hold them there. We're coming to pick them up. And they did. Our police officer held them there. Border Patrol came. They were processed. They were put into a van. They were detained. They were driven away. And they're taken to a facility where they may or may not get due process. In all likelihood, they will not receive due process, despite our United States Constitution, and they will be deported. So whatever your feelings are on illegal immigration and, whether we should be proactively looking out and trying to find every person who's here without documentation or not, I'll tell you, I've been mayor for the last 11 years. I've been on the city council for 16 years. During that period of time, I haven't taken a strong interest in what the police department does because my assumption is that we have a functioning society. We have a functioning federal government. We have a federal government made up of people who care about the rights of the people in this country. And I can say with complete certainty that that is not the case anymore. We do not, the current regime does not care about the Constitution. The current regime does not care about the laws. The current head of the regime has said he doesn't care particularly about international law. International law is meaningless to him. He's guided by his own morality, which we know is non-existent. Not only is it non-existent, he's amoral. He does not care about, he has no empathy, he has no kindness, he has no decency, he has no respect for the rule of law, and you see it in the streets of every city where he's deployed his stormtroopers over these past several months. So while for the last 16 years I was content to say, police officers, do your thing, get the bad guys. If people are here without authorization, they run that risk. They have due process rights. The courts and the legal system will figure it out. But that's not the case anymore. Not only is it not the case anymore, when our police department hands people over to Border Patrol or ICE or Homeland Security, we are deliberately putting them in harm's way. I want to tell you, I know that in this kind of day and age, our media is very siloed. What I'm seeing on my social media algorithm is very different than everybody else's. And when I read my news sources, I'm probably getting different news sources than you are. And if you want to choose your news sources, you can pretty much tailor your news sources to exactly what you want to see. So I've tried to be fair and open-minded about this, but I'm going to tell you, just on social media today, these are the types of videos I saw. ICE agents spraying chemical agents into a vehicle, into a 1-year-old child's eyes. U.S. citizen, by the way. Tackling peaceful protesters times 30. I can't tell you how many times, how many different videos from Minneapolis, Chicago, and other areas of the country just today where peaceful protesters are not obstructing, not doing anything improper, videotaping law enforcement officers, and their phone is knocked out of their hand, they're tackled, they're swarmed, they're arrested. In St. Paul, Minnesota, just within the last 2 days, a man named Scott Tao was in his home when ICE agents busted down the door without a warrant, dragged him, an elderly man, dragged him out of the house. He was wearing his underwear, and he had a blanket draped around his shoulders. He was detained, taken away, out in the cold without clothes on for hours, only for them to determine that this is a United States citizen who's committed no crimes, he's done nothing wrong. So they took him back to his house. No apology, no compensation for his time. I saw a video today of a man with 4 ICE officers, arresting him. He was handcuffed, he was restrained, his hands were behind his back, and there were 4 officers kneeling on the ground around him. He was not protesting, he was not resisting, and he was kneed in the face repeatedly while his face was pressed up against the concrete. I saw a man named Ramon Manera who was detained at his house after ICE agents came and they said, "You have an accent, we don't think you were born in this country." And he was detained. He was a U.S. citizen, by the way. I saw a woman dragged, again today, I saw a woman dragged by ICE through the streets in Minneapolis. I've seen countless videos of ICE officers arresting people for doing nothing. A federal judge in Minneapolis has said to the Trump administration that Department of Homeland Security, ICE, Border Patrol agents may not use chemical agents on peaceful protesters who are not obstructing the federal agents from doing their job. Now think about that. A judge had to tell the President of the United States that you cannot use chemical agents on peaceful protesters who are not obstructing you. What kind of country are we living in where that happens? And it happens. I've seen the videos. The judge was shown several videos of this happening. Federal agents, masked federal agents with or without training, without identification on them, spraying tear gas into crowds of people just because they can and because that's the type of behavior that's tolerated by this administration. Not tolerated, encouraged. This wasn't today, but I saw a news story. I think it was back in November. A woman named Maramor Martinez was trailing ICE officers in Chicago, I believe. She was doing nothing wrong. She was obeying traffic laws. An ICE agent swerved into her, making contact with her vehicle. The ICE agents in the car were, on their body cameras, were talking about what they would do to this woman if she gets any closer. She did get closer. The ICE agents swerved in, hit her car. Upon making contact with the car, They then initiated a traffic stop where the officer got out of his car and he shot Ms. Martinez 5 times. 5 times. In text messages that ICE agent was bragging to his buddies, he said 5 shots, 7 wounds. So 2 of them he had 2 exit wounds too. He was very proud of that. In court, he said, I take a lot of pride in my marksmanship. I train officers how to shoot. He said that with a straight face. He said that. He shot that woman 5 times. And you want to know what happened? The Trump administration brought charges against her. She was brought to trial, not the police officer, not a police officer, not the stormtrooper. The victim was. And we all know what happened to Renee Good in Minnesota just a few days ago. Shot in the face 3 times at close range. If one of these incidents happened in Sterling Heights in the last 5 years, I would be beside myself. This is happening all day, every day. Go on your social media. If you want to find it, you can find it. So when we put people who are peaceful, doing nothing wrong, in the Border Patrol's custody, that's the type of person we're handing them over to. That's what we're doing. We heard a lot. We heard from Mrs. Davis and from Katie about why this community is important to them, that we're welcoming, that we're inclusive. We have guiding principles that we live by, that we stand by, that we talk about, but are we going to live up to them? We would never enter into a partnership with an organization or another city or another form of government that openly flaunts those values. That doesn't just say, you know, we don't perfectly align with your values. No, they are the direct polar opposite of our values. So if our values mean anything, then I think we have to seriously consider what role we have to play in what's going on in this country. I don't want to be in partnership with federal policing agencies who have been militarized to terrorize on peaceful communities throughout this country. We have 4 police officers that work full-time that are on loan to the FBI or to the Drug Enforcement Agency or other federal agencies. I want those officers back in Sterling Heights. I want those partnerships ended, terminated, and I want those officers back in Sterling Heights working here. That's going to cost us money. Those drones that we bought were federal forfeiture funds that we get because of those partnerships. I don't care. If a white supremacist group wanted to give us $500,000 to sponsor Sterling Fest, would we take it? Would we say, wow, we could get some really good bands with that money. We could have some really cool rides with that money. No, we wouldn't do it. We wouldn't do it because that's not a group that shares our values. And if you watch what the federal government is doing, and you can say with a straight face, honestly, you know what? They share our values. That's good. This is what our country is all about. Terrorizing people. Terrorizing political opponents. Terrorizing the states and the cities that are run by people from the opposite party. For what? Are we a safer country? Are we a better country? Is this what we are? Is this what kind of a people we are? So no, it's not good enough to me that we would turn over anybody who is not a criminal, who is just peacefully existing here in our city, to those monsters. I won't have it. I don't want it. And it's up to the 7 of us up here to make a determination. whether we're going to allow it, whether we are going to dully acquiesce to this evil that's around us by throwing up our hands and saying, gosh, it's terrible, but what can we do? I'll tell you what we can do. We can work towards creating policies where people in the city of Sterling Heights can feel safe that the Sterling Heights Police Department is not going to turn you over to this type of evil if we can avoid it. So I do want to, the police have worked with me over these past 10 or 12 days, and the city council and the city administration to try to make some changes to our policies, and I think we're on the right path. We've made some minor modifications, but we have a lot of work to do. I don't think this should ever happen again. I'm absolutely dismayed at what this country has become. What we are accepting right in front of our own eyes. Some of us out there cheering it on. It sickens me. It disgusts me. I've never been less proud of this country. I've never been less proud to be an American. I think that this country is an absolute disgrace. An absolute disgrace, and I'm sick of it. Sick of it. I've seen presidents of different parties and governors of different parties. There was a president who deported more than Joe Biden, more than who, you know, President Obama deported a lot of people. I wasn't up here complaining about it because they're getting due process. And they don't have stormtroopers out in the cities terrorizing on people. I mean, I could go on. I read half my list of the ridiculous things that are happening. We need to do more. We need to do more. The 7 of us need to do more. So I don't think I have support to cancel our partnerships with the federal government. I don't think I have support to enact new policies that ensure that this doesn't happen, but I'm going to try. Entertain a motion to adjourn into closed session.
So moved. Support.
It's been moved and supported. Ms. Riska, can we have a roll call vote?
Yes.
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 Yep.
Yes.
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 Motion carries. We'll adjourn to closed session. We will not return. Meeting is adjourned.